that's the way I see the world, and that's why I want to make my films very wide, and I want to make it look dark because it's a dramedy. You know, I don't mind it. You know, I don't believe in genre like Ryan does. Sorry,
Purity.
why am I talking fucking Ryan?
You're a dick.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, Ryan. No, I don't believe in genre.
You think he's still watching it hour 6?
Yeah. It's gonna be a few hours.
I don't have that in me. I can't do that long.
No, you
Meanwhile,
could.
it's 9 o'clock.
I know, right? No, dude, that would be
I'm
like
just hoping Burger King's open so I can get fries on the way back.
Fucking 5-hour meeting. You know, Applebee's the other way.
Fuck Applebee's. They do make a mean martini.
All right, let me
bang bang shrimp. All right.
So we are back, and I think we were rolling on everything. But all right. So yeah, I think we're going. Yeah. So it is take 16C. We're on part 3 of Mike McGowan's episode, or is it take 1 with Thomas Prophet?
Yes, I think it is. It's take
I will
1,
not title
A,
it that
B, and C.
for consistency's purpose.
Just for the record, if anybody ever watches this, we've already lost 49 people's down. You know, you can see on the Google Analytics when people are watching when they tuned out. That's going to be fun.
No, one day, people are going to treasure this.
I'm leaving it behind. This is legacy for me.
This is legacy.
This is going to be somewhere out
this
in the
is
universe.
a hell of a legacy.
But I'll tell you, 49 viewers is down to about 6 right now. And God bless you, 6.
God bless you.
But what's been really rewarding for me is that we got to hear him speak and his passion. And I'm pointing to him.
Yeah.
His name's Thomas. Prophet, 2 F's, 2 T's. Very cool name. I always like that. But I've enjoyed this, right? Because when I was driving here, I was thinking I'm turning this on him. And you've done it a little bit. I watch all your things, but you throw it. But you've been doing mostly straight interviews and questions and letting them roll. And I've been trying to let you roll.
My friend says the otherwise.
Really? No, I think I've been letting you roll.
No, she didn't say the otherwise. I said that when I was talking to her. I was like, I'm talking too much, and she's like, no, you're not. You're fine. Like I'm always thinking that.
No, I just letting you run, and I like that. That's what I kind of wanted because from a film perspective, I'm a newbie. You're more of a pro than I am, right? I just come at it from a different angle. That's all. And I do want to help young filmmakers, right? So for the people out there, we're going to do this comedy short thing, send it in, make some money, have fun. There you go. All right. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
And I'm ready with my extras here too.
What are you most excited about in the future?
God, I go kind of day by day. The future right now, I guess it depends. Do you want me to go to a specific topic like movie making or whatever? Movie making's bad right now. I have to explore some of these indie movies and foreign films because it's been, I guess COVID didn't help.
Dude, I'm telling you, Criterion Channel, man.
Okay.
Watching there's a reason why, the reason why I started watching it is because Scorsese, there's a life to his movies. I'm like, where does he get that from? How does he put that in? And I think for me, I get the life that's going in my movies partly from watching so many works of cinema from there, and it changed me as a filmmaker. You know what I was making before I started watching those movies? I was making this really stupid short film. I was writing at the time, and it was basically about these dudes who are trying to get this woman's number in the library, and they start breaking into a gunfight and with silencers and shit. So stupid, right? The stupidest fucking thing in the world. I'll be the first to say it.
Now you're in World War mode.
Now I try to make films that are about drama and personal relationships and things that are more relatable, and that before then I realized that was mostly inspired by bullshit I saw on YouTube.
Yeah.
But when you garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. Watch a lot of movies from all over the place, great works, and that's the reason why it's probably Criterion is there's a criterion for it to be on there.
Yeah.
Or to be made into that.
I think it's rare.
Or remastered.
So what I like about Scorsese, I love because his films are artistic and they tell a great story. He gets both out of me. Usually, if it's too artistic, I'm like, I was just too artsy. And sometimes it's but
there's a lot of that.
Goodfellas is my all-time favorite movie. I don't know if it's in your top, but Goodfellas, unbelievable movie. Pulp Fiction's probably number 2. Number 3, I don't even know who the director is, but I just love it. Usual Suspects. I guess twists and uniqueness. Yeah. So Goodfellas scene where they're going through the kitchen and Henny Youngman or whoever it is playing, and it's a 2-minute 1-shot Steadicam scene. Blew my mind. blew my
Have you
mind.
seen Magnolia? Not Steel Magnolias, but Magnolia.
I have.
Dude,
Yes.
that's great.
Artistic, it lost me a little bit, but
Yeah.
great. Similar things. And then Pulp Fiction, just the way he moved around time was just really fucking cool.
Fuck yeah.
There was nothing like that. Nothing like
Yeah.
And then Usual Suspects, you talking about a character, Kaiser Soze, and a twist at the end. Forget about it. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming. Anyway, my point to that was I don't know. I just wanted to say what my favorite 3 movies were, I think.
That was actually a question I had. So
Okay. But we were
two birds with one
Well,
stone.
what was your question?
Because
I think I was
good
ready
question.
To answer. I think I was ready to answer.
What
it,
are
too.
you most excited about in the future?
Oh, yeah.
And then you shit on movies.
No, I think I did because I'm not happy.
It will
right
lead me
now.
to my next
Because
question.
it's been a lot of Marvel stuff. It's been a lot of big bank stuff. And Hollywood just drives me nuts. They're so arrogant and egotistical, and I just get really turned off. So I'm running out of actors that I don't dislike.
Mhm.
They're all so political and so condescending, and it's just kind of, oh my God, Bette Midler's lost her freaking mind. She wants people to die. She's insane. Anyway,
Jeez.
so but from and I'm thinking the world is bleak, but that's where I'm going to save it. The hero complex. I don't like where things are going, and there needs to be a change back to like common man and love thy neighbor and like listen to people and have conversation, as opposed to just where it's going. It's going south fast. So future, I'm not as hopeful as I want to be. I'm trying to make it better. It's weird, but I can feel it in the air, and I've lost friends, and it's just sad. So trying to turn that tide one person at a time, but trying to scale it. Anyway. All right. What do you got next? Go.
Let's see. What is your, well, we kind of just touched on that. How do you feel about the state of filmmaking today, and how could it be better?
Sucks.
Sucks.
But you're watching watching films I'm not watching, probably.
Yeah.
Like, so I do want to watch Tenet.
But a lot of them are
I
films
knew Tenet was going to be good.
that like were from the past.
Yeah.
From,
Well, I saw Invisible Man. I thought that was actually pretty good. I was expecting not much out of it.
wait, the newer one?
Yeah. I was actually surprised by that.
I haven't seen that.
I thought it was
I saw
going
the
to be
trailer
garbage.
for
It's
it.
actually pretty good. But no, I haven't been to the theater in a long time. I don't even watch it. I've actually been seeking out more lighthearted, which is why I'm probably not seeing a whole lot of good movies. Like I want to watch The Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah,
I heard it's great.
I heard
it's great.
That was pretty
You
funny.
see it? Yeah. My son said I would love it. You know, little video game action. I've been playing video games more than watching movies lately. And by the way, video games are cinematic like they've never been. Holy hell. I played Uncharted 4. I just got a PlayStation 5 because my son got it, and we play online. That's how we stay in touch when he's in Orlando, right? Was the Switch, and now it's the PS5. That game is unbelievable with the visuals. Like, I can't believe, I feel like I'm in a movie. Like, it's pretty impressive. But anyway, but no, like, what movie in the last 2 years? Isn't that awful?
I don't.
Like, if we looked at the box office, it's garbage. And it might even extend 2 years.
When did Once Upon a Time come out in
It was
Hollywood?
like 4 or 5 years ago at least.
No, what, really?
Oh yeah, had to be.
No, I think it was
Once Upon a Time.
2018
Wait,
or
Once Upon a Time in America?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, in Hollywood.
Quentin
Excuse me. Yeah.
Tarantino's.
No, I think a long
was
time ago. I'm
2019.
gonna IMDb that shit. You know what?
2018.
I'm gonna IMDb because I'm on it and you're not. But I'm gonna get you on there.
Yeah, I'll get on.
My buddy D Wade's on there. It's on there. Oh, by the way, D Wade asked me to. I gave him a version of the same thing with different credits that he wrote.
I think you should let me color grade it
I'm happy to do it
before.
all day long. Oh yeah, no.
See, like this is what you. Let me see.
Can you make me skinnier in it so I could actually
don't know about
get a date if I wanted to? Damn it!
So wait, not that. That's what you posted.
I did it in black and white.
No, it's ungraded, meaning
Oh.
you didn't adjust the color, the contrast or saturation.
Okay.
This is just a basic LUT that I.
Okay.
A LUT is a lookup table.
Yeah, I just whatever he gave me on the file, I just used it.
A LUT is basically a lookup table, and it's ungraded, meaning it gives you more to play with in post.
Okay.
And the thing that bothers me the most, and this happened recently, for a film I DP'd, like when people put things out, DOP'd, director of photography, I shot for somebody.
Director of pornography.
Okay. It just it's lazy when people put it out ungraded.
Okay.
You know, it just looks like garbage. It's not supposed to look like that. It's just so that you can have the most to play with in post. But I like when it's like at least somewhat graded. Like I'm gonna actually modify this to make it look even better.
So I'd love you to do that, but I wouldn't want you to spend a lot of time on it.
I'm not.
Okay, good.
I'm really fast. Here's the thing. Like I said with the pots analogy, my process of color grading is I turn the contrast to a certain amount. I turn the saturation up to a certain amount. I then change the, I change the color balance. And if the color temperature is changing throughout, which it probably would because we went to different rooms, I might change that. Like I might have it so that it would change like at this point and this point. It'll take me 20 minutes probably.
I just thought of something for this. So
I don't know why Ryan doesn't color grade things. It takes me 20 minutes to do that.
I said send
or
me.
people.
I said send me everything because I want to do it right anyway. But
yeah,
he didn't release the walk because he didn't like the color grading. He told me.
I told him send it to me. I might. Who knows? I might be wrong, but I might be able to fix it, or I might be able to do something.
It would have been funny if it was your color grading and I just ripped you.
No,
but I didn't rip you.
No, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
He won't even send it to me to watch it.
I shot a friend of mine's film, and he released the trailer without any color grading. I'm like, I'm like, that makes me look bad as a director of photography,
as a DP.
Yes, as a DP.
TP giving DP. TP for your bunghole.
DP. But it makes me look bad, my work look bad, because
you're part of it. Yeah.
I hate when I see people's, the stills of their film look better than the actual film because But that's the way I graded still. I put graded stills out of that film. My favorite stills, they all look great. But the thing is, that's how they're gonna look when I'm done with it. I can do that in the moving image.
Right.
Like there's nothing I'm doing there that's limited strictly to a stills image. It's that's how I can color grade it.
What would it take? So if you were to color grade 6s and 7s, which is not done yet.
I don't think I should, because I don't think I'm at the level that Ryan is looking for that. But
gotcha.
I'd like to color grade the walk.
Okay.
And give it a shot.
Right, well, let's do that.
I asked him. I told him send it to me.
All right. Well, I'm gonna enforce it. None. He owes me.
Yeah, hell yeah.
A lot.
I want to try it,
bitch,
and if he doesn't like it, he doesn't have to use it. I'll do some
it's a
scenes.
No risk, but you could then get attached to something that got released because it's just going to sit there. Anyway, all right. So, where were we? What were we? Color grading. Yes, hired. Where were we on our question? What was it? This is the most incoherent podcast.
Well, this is just what happens when we've done it for a while. It's just I mean, that's why I usually stick to 2 to 3 hours.
Hour 6.
Yeah, we're getting there. But what? So I asked what you're the most successful. How do you feel?
We were talking about films. You didn't give me one in the last couple of years.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Sad. It's sad. You went Once Upon a Time in America, and I forgot to look it up.
Yeah.
Give me some Tenet.
The thing is, it's not. I don't think it's probably not a good call. Like it's probably not. It doesn't really mean much because I don't watch a lot of new films, to be honest.
Okay. You would if they were good, would you not?
I'm terrible as a filmmaker. I don't go out to see movies as much.
Right.
It's just plus with. I mean, well, even before COVID,
I'm just looking at the top box office right now. Spider-Man, Sing 2. I mean, are you kidding me with this? Matrix. I watched it.
You know what?
The
thing that, like the hero complex we talked about.
Yep.
Why is my? I didn't realize it. I got to fix that. I'll fix it.
I heard Licorice Pizza. I heard that one too.
Yeah, I heard about that one. I want to, like when it comes to my hero complex, if I have one, it would be to help change the state of filmmaking, and here's how you do it. And it's similar to what you're doing right now. When I get really successful with my films, I'll have known enough about how to make films with very, very low amount of money. And I'll have gotten good at it for doing that. And that's my plan. That's why I do everything. So that I know how to do everything for cheap as possible. Then what I'll do is I'll build up equipment and resources to pay and supply filmmakers like where I am now or before now with a vision on with the resources to go and do that. But also I would probably even go a step further of hiring full-time writer directors who have a vision and the ambition and the passion so that they can get out of their day job and focus 100% of their time and energy, which is still not that much, just making films. Yeah. Start off by making 5 short films as well as you can within your means, as cheap as possible, and then we'll get into feature films. Now, the company that does this would take a chunk of the money because we're funding your lifestyle to do that. But you would still get a sizable bonus out of it, and you would also get to live your dream as a filmmaker. And if that's not something that you would totally jump at the occasion for, you're not right for it.
That's right. Yeah.
And so there will be people who will jump towards this. I would back a while ago. But the thing is, you're going to have somebody who is employing you who will give you as much guidance as you want or need, and he'll tell you the truth, but he'll still probably let you, most cases, will let you go your route, because I'd rather see a bunch of different films by people who go their route. I don't care if I agree with it or disagree with it politically. I don't care if I disagree with or agree with it artistically. If I brought you on the payroll, it's because and I got you that job, it's because I want to see where that fucking goes. I want to drop that. You're the marble I'm throwing into this thing. I want to see where it goes. I don't want to fuck with it.
That's fun. That is fun.
That's exciting to me. And you know what? If I can do that and make it so that it's it's affordable, like we can make a lot of hire a lot of people and keep it under a certain amount, and it's so scalable. And also we can create a network, like a hierarchy where they're accountable to each other, but I'd have to figure that out later, or just a network of people who are accountable to each other. Then and they can feed their creativity, inspiration off each other and learn from each other. You can create an army of writer, director, filmmakers who are like Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino, and chances are you'll probably, if you get to 100 of these people, 10 of them, 5 or 10 of them will be the next big thing.
And you made it happen.
Yes. And not to capitalize on it, but to, you would capitalize so that you can grow and expand and get more filmmakers, but you'd be expanding, you'd be creating an army of filmmakers.
You're unleashing creative people out to the universe.
Because that's the thing that's holding people back is they don't have.
I agree.
I'm grateful that I have the ability to spend full time working on this. And if I didn't, I couldn't do it.
No, I feel bad. There's a lot out there that's never going to get made because they don't have that opportunity that you have. So me and Ryan talked about ethereal picture company, but I wanted to have a conglomerate that had, Ryan's angle, he does this, and another person's commercial, and have a production company. And it was similar in nature to what you're describing, not as far reaching as you've thought about with the hundreds of filmmakers, but like a place where they could come
eventually thousands.
And we all share equipment. We all share ideas. We've got editors and writers, and everybody benefits from it. And that's this common goal. So might be something
you have to, in order to save cinema, you have to invest in auteurs. I know the auteur theory that one person, it's not true. One person isn't the author of everything, but you need one fucker who has the vision and won't let up. And then sees an idea. So here's the thing. Ideas are they're so sensitive, they're so fragile. The inspiration, I didn't fully know what my World War II film would become till now, but I'm seeing where it's going. It is far better than I thought back then.
Nice.
And it's just so many. The thing is, but the only reason it is because I didn't get my spark stamped out by someone. But I also had I had met people who were ahead of me and also, helped me get further. They furthered my knowledge and my, the way I go about it. It's so I had mentorship, but I also had freedom to go about it. And if I didn't have that freedom, that idea, this World War II film, it would not be where it is or where it's going. Or in any of the projects I'm planning to do that are on par with that. So the Great Lengths thing, what I'm doing with Johnny, right? That could be expanded, right? So you and I both feel like there's probably some real good artist people out there
that have had these ideas or these concepts that will never do anything with because they have a day job.
Yeah.
Well, they have a day job. They work as a bartender and they're working 60 hours a week and they're exhausted, but they've got a few things. It would be great to put out, and maybe this podcast, whether it's the comedy festival idea or this, hey, send us your ideas.
Yeah.
Because I love where you went. So I've done this multiple times where I've helped people get away from a day job for several months so they could focus on something that I believed in, right? That they had a great idea. All right, I need you to focus on that. So I'm willing to fund you paying your bills until you see this through.
Mm-hmm.
I love that concept, but I would love to see what kind of artists come out of nowhere, right? That say, oh, I had this idea. Like I think about two people in mind, this guy named Deli, another I'm Jason, that just have ideas galore, but they're not going to do anything with it. They're not going to do anything with it. Mm-hmm. And who knows what that'll be, right? But I think there's something there because there's a spark of passion that they have that they don't have the opportunity you do. So anyway, all right, go next. Go all day on this stupid tangent.
Did I ask how do you feel you've evolved as a person or in what you do?
You have not. I've evolved to as further than I ever thought. I think my problem is I'm less tolerant of people that are lazy. People that don't think for themselves. Like I've learned enough about me of what I don't like to be around and not associate with. I just can't be like people that just don't think for themselves. Drives me nuts. Judgmental people drive me nuts. Mm-hmm. Lazy people drive me nuts. You know, so I know what I like and I don't like, and it's made me have a very small friend group, very small.
Yeah,
which is kind of disappointing, but like I'm much happier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I've weeded people out that just were either a bad use of my energy or whatever. So I've evolved to that point. I don't know if it's good or bad. I think I'm happier than ever before. I know I'm happier than ever before, but it feels weird to not have very many true friends. So evolved. I think I'm a better listener than I've ever been. Highly empathetic, and I don't know why I'm good. Like I've lived a full life already. I'm good. So now it's like helping other deserving people get to that state is kind of what I want to do. I think that's evolving. I mean, it shows like I don't really care much about my own happiness as I do others. For what it's worth, is that evolving? I don't know. I've opened my mind up to everything. I don't mock any ideas. I like to listen them out. I also then research, like the meditation thing. Like, why did I really float above my, like, what was that? So I Googled like, and the first thing I found was I saw images of people floating several feet above. I'm like, it freaked me out because I saw that. And
I haven't experienced that.
I saw stars. So I'm
not sure if I want to.
I was out in space because I didn't know what I saw. He just kept saying I saw pink and purple dots. They looked like Dippin' Dots, like pastel-y colors there. And then I was on, I have these Instagram pages like you do about the universe. And I saw like the Milky Way, and it was the exact picture of where I was. So like that was such a surreal experience. Whoa. But yeah, so there's
see, it's universal, like it's universal images or some universal
that other people have seen.
There's also this is what I learned about mythology. This is what I love about mythology is basically, and a quick summary of mythology, like for a lot of people don't know this, mythology is basically a narrative of thousands of stories that accumulate together and are written by hundreds of thousands, like dozens, generations, of people who tell the story and tell it wrong or tell it differently, and then over time it becomes something more meaningful. Yeah. And like a hero, a mythological hero, is basically 1,000 heroes.
Gotcha.
And basically the story of Jesus Christ is 1,000 mythological heroes. So you have 1,000 heroes, or like 1,000 people stories become one mythological hero. Jesus is like the pinnacle version, or the son character. And it's not just Jesus. There's a ton of, like in Buddhism, there's a version of the Jesus or the story. The same story is being told, but different perspectives. It's like all of religion is basically, it's basically a bunch of blind men, feeling up an elephant and trying to describe what they're feeling. And some people, they're feeling the tusks. It's very hard.
I feel the balls.
And then somebody's by
They're
the
giant.
by
They're giant
the
too.
sphincter, and they're like, it smells like shit. And
I wish I said sphincter. I should have chose sphincter instead of balls.
But yeah, that's
Or
like
uvula.
that's the thing. They're all feeling up the same thing, and so, I mean that.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, to see images of what I experienced was insane. That's why I never went back. That actually scared me. It really did. And the sharp pain, it was too much. Anyway, all right, keep going.
What is it about an idea or project that makes you want to do the hard work of making it?
Oh, it's the passion of the person I'm working with. Passion. I mean, that's the word, right? So, well, first we all have to, so everybody has a different opinion of humor, like what's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm always blown away. I don't know if you ever watch Seinfeld or The Office or Parks and Rec, any of those.
Oh, I love those shows. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't get people that don't think they're funny. I don't get them.
Yeah.
But everybody has a different
I can
appearance. Like slapstick.
People
Some people
are saying like they think like, oh, it's a cliche that everybody likes it. Yeah, but it's still funny.
Yeah. I mean, Parks and Rec, The Office characters are phenomenal. Like, I just don't get people that don't get that funny. So I think I have to have in common with whoever I'm working with that it's fun. Like we're in sync, and then just the passion for it. I get excited. I have energy, and I feed off other people's energy. So I think that's what every project, not just film, but everything I've done was related to my passion and somebody else's that bought in. Sometimes I can't find somebody else's and it stalls. Sometimes I need other people's passion to keep me going. I've noticed that. This is why I'm talking about like all these projects I have. I want somebody to just tell me. So failure. Right now I'm at the biggest block I've ever had. Like you had writer's block or a block of some sort. I have a block. I'm kind of petrified of what I should do next because I love all my ideas. And they can't all be great. Mm-hmm. They can't all be great. I need somebody to tell me. This is why I'm going to have Mary come in. She's going to listen to me give her a 30-minute pitch on each one of these. And then she's going to hear all it out. And then she's going to play back to me what you heard. This is like life coaching. You play back what you heard. Well, you know what? Your tone went, you got really excited when you were talking about this one, silly walks or whatever it is, right? So I think you should do that because that's your passion. If you get that done, it's going to do X, Y, and Z for you. Like I need somebody to listen to me and then tell me what to do because right now I'm in paralysis by analysis mode.
Here, so I actually meant to recommend this earlier. So a friend of mine, he wrote an animated script. It's about bees, a bee that dances. Okay. It is one of the most clever things, and it's winning awards right now. It's fantastic. You might even want to get involved somehow. I can link you up with him. I think you guys would hit it off. He was the sergeant in the non-committal cop sketch. Okay. Kevin McCauley.
Okay. Behind the desk.
He's actually he's a state trooper. He's in the SWAT teams.
Oh, nice.
He does like his own stunts, and he's like action stuff. He does acting. You guys, and he's a motivational speaker.
I liked what you put at the end of it. Thank you for the blue. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so you would love.
Send it to me. No, but what is it though right now? Is it a script? It's a script,
short? But he actually released a children's book that's a shortened version of it.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, the thing is, I read this thing, not expecting, I'm expecting any amateur writer. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to be very honest with him.
Yeah, no.
I'm reading it. I'm like, okay, wow, he's already here, and it's actually good so far. I'm like, he's gonna screw something up. I'm
waiting for the shoe to drop.
He didn't screw that up. Are you kidding? What? This is and it's going places where I'm not expecting, but awesome. It feels good. It just feels great. Nice. you feel it but you don't, and so I'm reading this. I'm like, and I get to the end, and I'm like, all right, yeah, it was, there was a bit of it was a children's movie. It's for children. Mm-hmm. If I was taking my child or my nieces to go see that, I would have enjoyed my night as if I would have wanted to see it as an adult.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is going to be a Pixar movie someday.
Yeah, that's like Toy Story. And he's for everybody.
He's shopping it around right now in California, trying to get it made, and he wants to get it made big. And I'm like, I asked him, dude, please tell me you've been writing for 10 to 15. Tell me you've been writing for 15 years, longer than me. And he's like, and that you've been writing this script for 3 years. And I asked him that, and it also has like murder hornets, all this stuff that's so current right now with bees. I'm like, it's so clever. And they're living like this 50s style town where nobody's like allowed to dance or anything or have fun. And this one guy just wants to dance. It's so good, and the message is so powerful, and I love it, and I'm all for it. And the thing is, I asked him that, and he's like, no, I've been writing for less than 2 years, and it took me a month to write this. And I'm like, fuck.
No. See, this is why I was saying, like, the 17 hours thing, like I keep getting these lightning bolt things and don't have to do all the work.
Yes.
Right. And I feel guilty about it.
It's because you have so much experience. You've lived so much. So there's something to be said about starting right. It's the best. You're better writers start later in life. So just because you feel like you're starting late in life with writing, especially, you're actually better off because you've lived things, you've experienced things. And I'm at the disadvantage of I'm living things through the lens of a filmmaker and a writer. So I always look for structures that aren't there. But people can see structures naturally and organically because they already lived a life and they know how to be a normal person. I don't know how to be a normal fucking person. I've always been making movies. And so I have to look to stories of real people.
Yeah, I got you.
But this, I asked him that, and he said, oh, well, this book, The Nutshell Technique by Jill Chamberlain. And I'm going to recommend this to you. I recommend it to everybody now because since I started using it, I used it to structure the non-committal cop sketch.
Okay.
So it's loosely structured based on it. There's some changes, but that's the thing. It's like it doesn't work for everything, but it applies to The Godfather. It applies to Pulp Fiction. Believe it or not, it applies to so many movies. It applies to Groundhog's Day.
Love it.
Basically,
huge Bill Murray guy.
Do you want me to walk you through what it is?
Sure.
It's basically it's a very short checklist. Talk about simplicity. It's a 7 points, 7 check mark items. You have them. You have a story. And it's a story that is hard to come up with, but if you have the right check marks that you're trying to fulfill, you know how to hit the mark. It's like hitting a fucking target in the dark, but it's like turning a flashlight on and you see it. I love that. And that's what like Johnny needs. Like I needed this years ago. I wish somebody fucking showed me this years ago. That's why I recommend it to everybody now. I'm like, dude, you have any fucking idea how many films I could have made at this point?
I know.
So many good fucking films. And now, but I'll walk you through it and I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it to expand upon it. But it's basically, all right, so your character they have a catch. Okay. You start with the catch. The catch is the character gets something they don't want. Okay. You think of something, that's the hardest thing to come up with. That's the opposition. That's the Aaron Sorkin's like obstacle. That's the formidable opposition. It's the conflict that they're facing. Yeah. If you can come up with a really good catch, you're golden. Now, along with that, you figure out the setup one, the thing that they wanted throughout Act 1 that they get, but at the same time they get the catch, they get the setup one, or they get the same time they get the setup one, they get the catch, meaning they get something they want, but at the same time, simultaneously, or at least right after, they get something they don't want, which leads to Act 2. So you're starting at the point between Act 1 and Act 2. That's where you show. That's why if you're starting a script from the beginning, you're fucked. You start in the middle of like right at the point from Act 1 to Act 2, the transition point, because you figure this part out, the catch, you have a story. You start from there, and then you add a setup one. And the setup one can be anything that the character wants. It doesn't have to be the main thing they want. It just has to be something that they say that they want, or something that they want that's inherent. But especially if it's great if they say they want it because they get it, and then the irony is they get something they don't want. Right. Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day, there's a line buried in there in the beginning of Act 1 where he says, "I don't want to spend more than 24 hours in Puxatawny," and he doesn't. Yeah, that's the catch. That's great. He's reliving the same 24 hours over and over again. Yeah. And so it's smart, right? And then that catch, the next thing is you have to figure out how that catch has to be the perfect test of the flaw. And the flaw, that can be dependent on what the catch is. So you figure out, okay, this is what the character gets that they don't want. Why is it that they don't want it? How does that test their flaw? And the flaw can be anything, just like the setup one. But think of something good for each thing. But the flaw is like, okay, the character gets The catch is in the non-committal cop thing, the character, they want to retire. So they throw away the badge, but the catch is they have to get the badge back to retire. So they have to now go find that, and that and then that also leads to meeting the fisherman who steals the badge, and challenges his flaw of non-committalness. So he then has to catch this fisherman pervert. Spoiler alert. And through the course of that, we are setting up that he's moving towards the opposite of the flaw. So you have the flaw. Now the opposite of the flaw, the strength is the opposite of whatever that flaw is. So non-committal is committed. He is a committed cop. And so we are hinting towards that. But when I do comedy sketches, I do something different. I don't go to the strength. I hint that we're going towards the strength, and I'm like, just kidding. And that's funny.
Nice.
So that's something that I do different from there. Plus, for sketches, I just skip all of Act 1. I just start with they get something they don't want. Start right on the action for sketches. For some reason, that works. But yeah, so you get the catch, which is, and then with something they don't want, the setup one, those are the same at the same time. And it's hard to, so you start with the catch and it'll be easier if you start from the catch.
Gotcha.
And then everything, the setup one and the flaw are dependent, and it can be anything, just something that it seems realistic that you can believe in, or that feels, relatable. And then the opposite is of the flaw is the strength. And that's what they're going to move towards. If it's a comedy, if it's a tragedy, they move away from that. They worsen their flaw. But if it's Aristotelian comedy, and on Aristotelian terms, if it's a comedy or tragedy, if it's in Aristotelian terms, if it's a comedy, it will go. Their catch will lead them to their crisis. They'll lead them to their lowest point. You see this in most movies. Most movies are a comedy, in Aristotelian terms. And then from there, they go to the climactic action where they choose to do the different thing. They choose to move towards their strength, and then they move towards their strength. And then the final action is the last thing that you add, which is after the dust has settled, the battle's over, months or so later, they make another decision that continues them towards the path towards moving towards their strength. So the non-committal cop, if I was really following it and make it, to make it like a drama, I would have made him the final action. He does something to help somebody, he is committed.
Right.
But we find out that he's actually not. He always
it's not committal, man. It's not committal.
And that's I love that.
You're gonna like this. I'm gonna stand up for.
But tragedy is they reach the ultimate manifestation of their setup one, and
what's it say?
Wait, drink and be merry. No, is that? Oh my God! Wait, is that from
for Christmas?
Wait, what is?
Drink and be merry. It's Bill Murray on there.
Oh my God, that's great.
How funny is that,
dude?
Another surreal thing. I'm talking about World War II.
He's got Bill Murray socks on as I'm talking.
Drink and be merry. I got a lot of silly socks for Christmas, and this is my favorite. So I'm a huge Bill Murray guy, and I have all Funko Pop figures. I'm addicted to them. They make me smile. I got Groundhog Day. I got Stripes. Zombieland.
I'm watching Stripes soon.
It's on my list. It doesn't hold up very good. It's slow.
No.
It's great though. It builds. It's slow. It's great. John Candy's great in it. Give me another one. All his top movies. I have all Ghostbusters.
Jinx.
Like 6 of them. So I all 6, and because they're just all. What about Bob? Another underrated one.
That.
Underrated one. He's a manic.
Wait, did you mention
has anxiety?
Zombieland?
Zombieland, I did. Greatest cameo ever. He's phenomenal in it. He's unbelievable in it. Just gets blown up too. So anyway, I just ran this by. I was telling you I was doing bar marketing for this place called Liquid Alchemy in Wilmington, and I do Thursdays. I'm doing like music trivia just for fun, just doing it. I'm not getting paid. I do brackets, so I did like 80s brackets, and it was like Depeche Mode versus the Pet Shop Boys, like March Madness brackets. And I would play a minute of each song, and everybody in the room votes, and we come down to the greatest bands of all time. I did a classic rock one, and ended up being Queen one, but it was like Queen versus Led Zeppelin. I play a minute of each song, people vote, so I'm having fun. So the new one I just came up with is Bill Murray night. It's Drink and Be Merry. And I came up with that before the socks were given to me 2 days ago. Drink and Be Merry. We're going to have all Bill Murray trivia, clips from movies, and we're going to put like his top 16 acting roles. And we're going to have people vote to see what was his greatest of all time. this bracket thing, you know what I'm talking about with March Madness brackets,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This bracket thing, I started it with cartoon characters at an event, and it was 16 Looney Tunes versus 16 Hanna-Barbera. Whittling down ended up being Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Foghorn Leghorn, and Scooby-Doo were the finalists, and Bugs ended up winning. But to watch people, you know, hear and reminisce about these bands and these things is fun. And so the March Madness has been a big hit. So I'm doing that late January. So I got to figure out what Bill Murray clips, and I'm going to give away the Funko figures, and it's just going to be a Bill Murray night. And because I'm an IMDb pro, I've got his agency. I'm going to invite him.
That'd be great.
Just like my other things. Just invite him, see what happens. He's the kind of guy who will show up alone. You know what I mean? Like he would just.
That'd be so cool.
I've seen so many Bill Murray stories of what he does, like in his regular life. He's just a guy, man. He's just a guy. He's
That's
great.
fucking
Anyway,
fantastic.
so
Can I be there for that? I want to see that.
No, I'll send you as I put it all together. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
you were talking about something and it triggered something else I wanted to say, but
that nutshell technique. I'll wrap a bow on that.
Yep. Bow that shit up.
I love simple systems because I feel like they're the ones that work. Simple, effective solutions, like Aaron Sorkin's thing. Now, of course, it's not true of everything, but you can decide that for yourself for the system. But you have hard tools to, you know, shape the clay with, and then you don't have to use. Then you don't have to like, or you get a flashlight to see in the dark. That's a better analogy. Yeah. And the thing is, great films, and one of my questions I ask everybody is like, what makes for a great film or script? For me, it's the proper limitations. If you are trying to come up with an idea and you're not creating a limitation to shape possibility out of infinity with, nothing's going to happen. You have to give yourself limitations. That's why I feel like micro budget filmmaking is, in a lot of cases, better than big budget filmmaking because you have limitations imposed on you. And filmmakers usually don't thrive when they have a lot of money to make films. You know, it's a good problem to have, and it's a bad problem to have when you have a lot of money. I mean, that's why I don't like where I'm at right now. I realize this could be the golden years of my filmmaking. There's a good possibility of it. Because I'm making whatever I want to make right now. Yeah. And I have all the equipment that I need to make whatever the way I want to make it. Yep. And I'm sure there's better equipment, but I bet if I start going down the route one day, I might become a lesser filmmaker as the more easier it gets to make films.
Yeah. I'm with you.
And I'm just going to limit myself and say, I don't care. I'm just going to, I mean, I'll make sure I pay people like through the fucking nose, like to work for me. And spend all the budget on that, you know, and blow it on being able to have more days to shoot and get a lot of takes, you know, like I feel like I'd be going the David Fincher route where he does like 30 to 60 takes of a scene or 100 takes, but just from different angles and whatnot. But I love doing that because you get to explore the full potential of a scene.
I think if you have your actors and people bought in that that's who you are and what you do, they're not going to be as exhausted. They're going to know what they're getting into, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to work on doing that now.
Yeah. You know what?
It's just doing one whole 4 to 6 minute thing, like in a day, like a 12-hour day. That's exhausting. Like it was exhausting doing 6 or 8 hours the other day when we were filming like on 2 to 3 cameras, and it was just like we just kept going and going and going and. For an actor, though, that is the best training. That is the best teaching. Like, it's better than acting class, I think.
I like that you are aware of how lucky you are right now.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Like, a lot of people go through life and they don't realize how good they have it when they have it. And that's a unique quality you have. I'm super appreciative of that you have that perspective. Yeah. It's awesome.
I know it.
And I'm happy for you. I'm like, yeah, it's great. All right, go.
So, I definitely need to ask this. You've started producing films. What things do you look for in the projects or the people behind it? And that can be 2 parts. That can
I don't think I'm there yet, right? In that I've just been throwing my hat in the ring to learn. Like I was seeking to do so it started with producing. I guess I could call her. I was her producer. She's a burlesque dancer. And I met her at some conference, and she said she always wanted to do this. I go, I know people in that industry. I love burlesque. I think it's an art form. It goes back to the 20s. It's like the art of the tease. It tells a story. It's great, right? Most of them are ballerinas. Like, I'm not talking about like a stripper that's just twirling a pole. Burlesque is an art to me. And she wanted to get into it, and I got super excited about it. It was, wow. So I'm like her manager, producer. I got her gigs. I got her in a troupe. That started my energy of, okay, this just made somebody's dream come true. I got the email that said, I could have never done this without you. You pushing me, and I owe this to you. I'll never forget. Like, that is the most rewarding email you ever get, right? So I'm seeking out more ways to get that. That came to Ryan, right? And he's very appreciative. I say what we want about our boy, but he's very thankful. And, you know, said, I couldn't do this without you. You know, you don't have those bro talks very often, because as men, we're not supposed to be vulnerable with I'm a vulnerable sharer. I share everything, but I know he's not. I know he's not, right? So it's tough for him to be as thankful as he has, but he has been. That's rewarding. So it's really just, I've thrown my hat in the ring. He was passionate about it. That fueled my passion, right? That's what it's been to date. Now that I've got a couple under my belt, I know more what to look for. Right. So now.
Sorry.
I want to look, I want to work with good people around me. Right.
Yeah.
Good, positive energy, good people. I want to maybe do a project that makes a difference. Right. I'm trying to create some of those on my own, but I don't believe I'm the end all be all. So I started looking for this avenue. That came up to that comedy festival idea that, I would like to see other people's stuff. I like to hear other people that are passionate, but how do I find them? Right.
My friend I mentioned, I'm going to introduce you and her to each other. She also knows people, great filmmakers. So, and I know a few that I would plan to invest in as soon as I fucking succeed, and I can invest. I can like introduce you to all of them.
And I also like the idea of so I think with
and
Ryan,
you can look at their films, their work, and decide and meet them and judge by their character.
I like the idea of reading a script, seeing a treatment, hearing a pitch, and going all in, right?
So Ryan does that treatment thing.
Yeah, he does. 37 pages for a 2-minute short, type of thing. Yeah.
So when it comes to, I used to do, like, I did this thing I called a chi map for my I did this for my film Feeding the Fire. And what it basically was is it was writing. It was kind of like the writing process, writing and revising and revising and revising until it was perfect. But instead of writing a script, I was rereading what I'd written scene per scene, and I reread the scene and then wrote about it, anything I could think of. Yeah. And then I did that, and then that day later, several days, I kept rereading and revising my thoughts on that scene, everything I could think of filmically, basically a treatment, but my version. And it basically, I just came up with any philosophies or things I could use to apply to direct this scene. And then I did that for every scene of the film. And then once I did all the scenes, I went from memory or reread the whole thing, and did it for the full movie. And what that resulted in was the film. One of the things that I learned from that is I shot the entire film where the character was facing frame right when he was moving forward, i.e. towards his goal, in the right direction of facing his fears, feeding the fire so that he could go through his fears and finally confront this, like to tell this woman his feelings. And every time he was chickening out or moving the opposite, the wrong way, he looked frame left. We shot it entirely that way. Okay. And it's one of those things, like, Ryan looks at the details that don't matter. Yeah. Like, so I'm sorry, Ryan. Why do I keep dude, I'm so sorry, dude.
No, we love him because he's detailed.
Yeah.
He's getting it done, but
Ryan, I gotta take a moment. You changed my fucking world. So anytime I'm talking shit about you,
he said this a bunch of times. I've heard you say this.
Yeah. You introduced me to film.org that fucking changed my world and introduced me to the world of filmmaking that I am in now. All the people I know now are because of you. So I appreciate the fuck out of you. I'm gonna still talk shit about you.
Yeah. but I'm award winning because of you. So thank you for that. I always knew I was an award winner.
Fuck out of you, dude. Cheers.
Well, no, but his treatment though. So when I first came on,
I realize I'm going to probably stop doing that is because it leads me down rabbit holes that the audience doesn't care about. Now my process is very streamlined. I nap on things.
Mhm.
I have way better ideas during my naps about how to shoot and how to direct something, and I nap a lot.
Okay.
Like for the sake of writing and creativity, and I come up with all my best ideas through naps. My best ideas don't happen during writing. Rarely does it. All of it happens during naps. And my most high impact things happen during naps or during meditation or workout or anything like that, or anytime where I'm like I'm leaving my body, so to say, or moving my body, you know. And then now I use, you know, as far as planning for the cinematography, I'll often figure this out in my head during naps, but after seeing the location or before seeing it. But generally, I can go to the location with my iPad. I will use my iPad with an app that shows like what the frame line is, and I figure out the exact framing and location of the camera and take pictures of it that I can look at later, and then look at it and say, this sucks, this is good. I did this and also I shot a sketch that the one I'm reshooting now. The reason I was shooting so wide of a lens is I spent 10 hours one day setting up the shots, every single shot, lighting it, trying to make it look as good as possible. I thought, and I did it the way I would do any other sketch or any other film I had shot or DOP'd for somebody. And
You're screwed for life on the DP thing. There's no way you get through any conversation without thinking of me and DP. You're screwed.
After that 10-hour day, thinking I got great stuff, like taking test footage and look so I could grade it, I was like, I'm not even going to bother grading it, looking back at it, because it all sucks. Why does it suck? And then I meditated on it or napped on it, and I figured out, let's go a wider lens. Try that. It fixed the problem for me. That's why I don't listen to Ryan about the wide lens thing, is because, well, for whatever reason, it works. And the reason why I thought of it doing the wider is Kubrick. One of the things he says as he was a photographer. He started out with photography in high school and college, and that's why he was so he had cinematographers, but technically he was the cinematographer telling them what to do. Gotcha. Like he sometimes shot his films, you know, and he was incredibly involved in that process, the photographing of his films, and that's why they look amazing. And he basically talked about this philosophy that's always stuck with me, and I never could, and I think I'm beginning to understand it better. He said you have to learn how to, photographers and filmmakers have to learn how to take a picture of a picture, a photograph of a photograph. He said, but that means you need to have, I think what he meant is you need to have compositions within your composition. You know, some person might take a picture of this with this kind of lens. Take a step back. What is it about this? Just because your mind is, your eyes are seeing all of this, and it's taking that all in within that. And sometimes it's things on the periphery. And I mean, a simple bullshit, you know, lazy method is to shoot with a really wide lens that looks interesting, has very little distortion to it, so that it looks like something that you don't see very often. But looks beautiful, and there's a reason why Terry Malick films are a lot of times shot with that, and the cinematographer he works with, Lubeski, something like that. There's such, and the Revenant was shot by that same cinematographer, and Birdman as well. Very wide lens, beautiful. There's something about that automatically, you know, puts so many different compositions, and the beauty of that is then the audience, much like music, no music in your film, a wide wide camera is like, it allows audience members to choose what they're looking at. It just gives them, you know, bigger. And I feel like for me as a person with ADHD, you know, I hear this whole thing of like the human eye sees like this focal length or something. That's bullshit to me. I see everything. Like I notice this something down here blinking, you know, any time of the day. And so it's like, that's the way I see the world, and that's why I want to make my films very wide, and I want to make it look dark because it's a dramedy. You know, I don't mind it. You know, I don't believe in genre like Ryan does. Sorry,
Purity.
why am I talking about fucking Ryan?
You're a dick.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, Ryan. No, I don't believe in genre.
You think he's still watching it, hour 6?
Yeah.
Don't index it. You should index it. Yeah. All right. Here's all the times we talk shit on Ryan. Minute 5 hour and
Dude, I'm gonna talk shit about
seconds.
Ryan. Talk shit about Ryan again. Talk shit about Ryan about this. Talk shit about Ryan about this. No, I love Ryan, man.
I guilt's kicking in. The amount of times you said you love him, it's really kicking in your guilt.
Yeah, it is.
It's awesome.
You know, it's they basically. I'm gonna be seeing them this week.
No, me too, no doubt.
Probably
all right, stop.
But I basically, it's me. It's a way for me to make films the way that I want to see them. I want to. I as a director and a filmmaker, I want to, and as an audience member, I want to feel like I'm right there between the actors. You know, whoa, you know, just cutting back and forth, and you know, and so like, or just watching these two actors talk. That's why I love Woody Allen films. Is and this is what he. This is one of the things I learned about the reason why I do multicam is inspired by his style of filmmaking, where he would have just for a lot of scenes one take from one camera angle, just so that he could involve the totality of the performance of the actors in that scene and have improvisation.
I like that more. Yeah.
That's something that inspired the multi-camera approach, because sometimes you can't do it all in one take or all one angle, or it's just going to be like, it's just not going to look good. It's not going to look cinematic. But if you can put two really wide angle cameras in the middle of the table, looking at either side, that's what I'm trying to do. Like this next short comedy I'm doing, I'm probably going to do 3 cameras, like really wide, just kind of in the middle of all of it, you know, looking at each actor, and shoot most of it like that.
I like that. So a couple things in there. So we're going to get back to Woody Allen in a minute, because I have a question on that.
Oh, gosh.
Ryan's treatment, you don't need to do treatments. Ryan, if he didn't give me the treatment for 6 and 7s, I wouldn't have bought in. So it's powerful for him.
Yeah.
He had a tight vision, 37 pages of how he's going to map it out, color palettes, the whole nonsense. Is any of that required to make the movie? Absolutely not. You're making your own movies. He needed a guy like me to review it when he wants some big money to say, okay, I got it, right? So that's what's really purposeful about that, especially when I share that with people. I was planning on getting other investors for 6 and 7s, and I just didn't have the time. COVID was going. I just didn't have the time to meet people, right? But I have some influential people that they believe in me. So if I say this is a great idea, that they'll throw a bone my way. The treatment was going to seal the deal. Like that was a really well done, like his treatment's better than the script, as far as like from a novice person seeing that you have a vision and you're tying all this, you know, he's got the color palettes in there. He's got the actors, it is to pitch a movie. That is perfect. He does an amazing, I was blown away by it. And everybody I've shared to was like, wow, this guy has really got it going on. You don't need that. You don't need the investor, right? So you might one time. I think it's important for people that are trying to get buy-in and
I mean, I have nothing against doing it. It's just that.
But you have no reason to do it.
Yeah, I realized, like, I feel like that was my trap recently that I actually fell into, because I was too ingrained in the details. Like I'm realizing that I make better films just from doing these sketches. It started as like just doing it for the fuck of it. So I was producing something during COVID, and then it ballooned into making short. They're basically becoming short films now. But in a more streamlined fashion, where I'm writing them through naps. The only writing I actually do is once it's all written in my head from memory and it all sticks, you know, I then go and write it. And if it sucks, I don't do it. If it's good, some of them are, and then I make it. Like I'll pitch it to people, and I'm grateful that I have people who are going to be honest with me and tell me this sucks. Like my little sister, like she's one of those people. She watches everything I do, loves it. This recent sketch that I'm shooting for a 3rd time, she watched it, didn't laugh either version we did. Said she looked at me and with her fiance too, who watched it and didn't laugh either, and they just were like, this isn't your best work, Tom.
That's good.
She was right.
You need that. You need that. Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I have an actor backing out because he doesn't want to shoot it a 3rd time.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I plan to work with him in the future. I gave him a way out. I said, look, guys, if anybody wants out, I'm going to pay everybody for this one. Yeah. You know, this shouldn't have happened. This is all me. I know I figured out what's wrong. And I tested the problem on another shoot I did. I figured out I think it was the meditation thing. I'm sorry. And you know, I'm gonna releasing all 3 versions. The first 2, you know, I'm hoping the third one's good. Fuck, Jesus. You know, the first 2 though are going to be in the behind the scenes documentary called "How to Screw Up Directing a Comedy, Reshoot It, and Still Fail."
It's good.
I love that title.
They get credits to multiple things.
But it basically walks through the entire thought process and everything I learned as I went through this whole thing, and it's going to have a lot of bloopers and behind the scenes. It's going to be, honestly, it's everything I've ever wanted to have in behind the scenes. I've always wanted to do behind the scenes. I just didn't have people that were able to do it, and now I'm going to start paying the people to do it, I think. But
all right, so now my Woody Allen question.
Go for it.
Woody Allen, Roman Polanski. Give me another controversial person.
I'm trying to think.
Well, Kevin Spacey from an actor.
Dude, Kevin Spacey was, at the time that happened, he was my favorite actor.
Yeah, I love Kevin Spacey. What do you do with that? So you mentioned you still love Woody Allen, but you know, it's not that you're oblivious to some of the stuff, right? I struggle with that. I struggle with it. I just can't. You know what? I can't separate.
Do you remember what happened to Shelley Duvall on The Shining? Stanley Kubrick tortured her.
Yeah.
Psychological warfare. Psychologically tortured her. Yeah. Basically, you know, he bullied her, and Jack Nicholson like witnessed this because he was super nice to Jack in front of her.
Yeah.
And then was mean as shit to her in front of him. Yeah. But he was doing it for a performance.
Right.
Unacceptable to me.
Yeah.
No, I draw the fucking line at torturing your people. Yeah. Like if you are putting people into it, and that's why I liked working with you, and that's why here's the thing: I wouldn't accept any money from anybody, and you know, or I wouldn't have anybody. You know, I see you as a financer, like somebody who would, or a producer, or somebody on my films, you know, who I would, you know, have. And take like feedback from, and because I don't see you as somebody who would encourage a set where people are being hurt and people are being mistreated. That's where I draw the fucking line.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what I thought was really commendable about how you produced 6s and 7s is you were so compassionate with everybody. So I started this podcast mentioning that because I was impressed by that because. You know, you hear fucking stories about asshole producers, and you're not one of them.
I can't believe that people. So I thought it was my first foray with the on set and running around. I must have made 20 runs a day.
That was great.
Light bulbs to
dude, you were like the set mom, like just going and getting.
John wanted dark chocolate. I only had milk chocolate. I had all these gluten-free shit. I had 2 vegans, a vegetarian. Holy shit. Anyway, but I thought I learned so much that. A lot of stuff will never happen again, but I need to go through it. So I felt like shit about it. But everybody said it didn't matter because we could tell you cared, and that's the happy part of it. Like,
dude, you have no idea
I was
how
so
fucking
pissed you guys weren't eating on time. I was livid. Like I called out Ryan after night 1. I go, that's not happening. It went to like 2 a.m, night 1. I'm like, that's not happening again. And by the way, Elizabeth and William in their 70s, maybe 80s. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That really affected me morally. I had a problem with that.
Yeah.
They're all doing an indie. They're passing up what I know to be contractual in a union gig. I go, not on my watch. I was disappointed, and so I had issues with stuff, but I didn't speak. I never kind of go at it when it's happening. I like to take it in, let it simmer, and then find out the best way to go about it. So, you know, days later, I said, Ryan, we can't ever do that again. That will. I mean,
I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not perfect. I usually say that something's going to be this amount of time, and a lot of times it goes over an hour, and that's what usually happens to me. Is like it goes over an hour, and that pisses me the fuck off at myself because I'm like, I need to, because that for me that means like. That's going to cost me in the future if I can't get this down. Like if I can't get my process down. But now it's a give and take.
Self-discipline. No. Yeah. You shouldn't beat yourself up too much. It's 4 hours over an hour is different, right? Let me close. So the Woody Allen thing. So you can still enjoy Woody Allen films or whomever like I struggle with this. I want to enjoy all the Kevin Spacey movies I love. I mentioned to you, so I haven't watched it again since any of this stuff went out. James Franco, really disappointed right there. Love James Franco.
Yeah.
Thought he was an idiot savant, crazy, silly. I like that whole crew. Seth Rogen, I'm out. He's been a douche for like the last several years. It really, I hate that. I'm losing filmmakers I can like deal with seeing on screen and knowing some of the personal stuff.
That's why like I don't. That's why I chose not to get political with things. You just
differentiate it. I mean, so I just can't block it out. And it's not even political. Like Franco,
you know what?
Franco was banging his students, right? You know this.
Yeah.
He admitted it, right? He was putting them through weird sex scenes for his own. That's sick. And then his people came to his defense. I mean, Kevin Spacey, sick, right? So there's like this. It's not the political thing. It's the moral thing. You mentioned torture. Torturing the cast. Done to me.
I love Stanley Kubrick, but like I can't.
I do too. I love his movies.
Yeah.
I love the way they look.
Yeah. But I can't get over that whole thing. Like that's why I love. I mean, one of the things I love about the idea of doing behind the scenes more often is being transparent about the process.
I like that too. Yeah.
And it's like I was really, I was doing the BTS thinking that this sketch would go well. We're shooting it a third fucking time. This is probably the ugliest behind the scenes and the most honestly ugly behind the scenes, because I'm basically revealing that I am a shit filmmaker sometimes.
I think it's going to be more powerful than the skit. It is.
It will be.
No doubt.
Oh, I know.
No doubt.
I'm like,
it's going to speak to people at a different level. They're going to have experienced that frustration.
They're going to see two different variations before
and just
the
your
final
humbleness
version.
of giving yourself a beating on it. Anyway, all right. So you don't have any perfect answer for how I can watch Kevin Spacey again and not be angry.
No,
I can't do it. It's a problem for me. I hate it because think about how many things are Weinstein. I mean, anyway, all right,
dude. Before any of that happened, I actually like listened to like an interview with him, and I thought, dude, this is the kind of producer I'd need to be. I thought that myself. I was like, dude, if only I could get linked up with someone like that.
Yeah.
And then now I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Somewhere.
And because that really fucking shook me. I'm like, I need to invest. I need to like produce my own fucking shit.
Well, and I'm starting to lose. Like it happens with music too. Anything. When I find out the person's an asshole, even if they're just an asshole. Like I heard Will Ferrell's an asshole. I love Will Ferrell. I think he's a comedic genius.
Yeah.
I watch all his stuff. His face on screen makes me almost laugh out loud. Right? Not that he just takes his shirt off. He's got the weird scar thing. Like I just look at him. It's ridiculous. But I heard he's a dick.
The other guy.
I don't want to know that.
With him. You see the other guys? The other guys?
Oh, it's a great movie. Yeah. I think from a buddy movie, I think Will Ferrell and
we were making jokes about that the entire time we were doing Non-Committal Cop.
Or John C. Reilly. We
were talking about desk pops the entire time we were shooting Non-Committal Cop because of that movie.
No, it's just but I don't want to learn about them anymore. Because I want to enjoy my life and not think about it.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's bad. All right. No answer for me. Go. Give me something else. Get me off the top, and now I'm angry.
Yeah.
You were supposed to solve.
You're
supposed to fix me.
The thing is, I forget what was going on.
Woody Allen, Roman Polanski, Kubrick.
What's your
filmmaker?
What's your writing routine like?
None. I can't impart any wisdom on that other than let me think about. So it's my first routine was just writing it all on paper, like we talked about, and just
that's an approach.
You have routines. I don't. I'm a hot mess of how things get done. They just get done because I'm passionate. I just force things over the finish line. But I wrote a commercial, Liquid Alchemy. As friends to them, I'm gonna film a commercial. Adam was gonna be my cinematographer, but I don't know. He looked like he was gonna charge me a lot. Adam, that's a lot of money. $5,000 for a 1 minute commercial. Anyway.
Yeah, if you need me, let me know.
Yeah, no, I wrote it, and it was.
Sorry, Adam, I'm stealing.
No, it was 2 pages, but I got the format down, and I'm kind of like a gritty, just do it. I don't really care if it's not perfect, and then get it out there.
I care
for
that
people to review it.
It's perfect in my own lens, and I'm very careful. I've cultivated my own perspective, and it comes back to that limitations thing. There's limitations to your standard. There's like And that's part of how you can keep yourself from getting so bogged down in paralysis during a set, during a shoot, that you go over time. It's having, you have to set certain standards of this. I just need it to be this good, and then we can move on. That's what I need to do next. Before I do the third shoot of this dinner sketch that we're doing. It's like, I need to get enough good takes of what I'm looking for to get the one solid one and then move on. Like, I can't do like 3 good takes, you know. I could, and we might get that third really fucking amazing take, but it's going to rob the rest of it. I need to find a way to disperse or distribute the time I spend on things. And then but doing that, it's a discipline of through limitations that you set for yourself on, you know, what's your rules of engagement. I have a rules of engagement about everything. That's why I have that 5 principles of cinematography. It enables me to think faster through problems. It enables me to, you know, like the 80-20 principle, you have to figure out the 20% that gets you 80% of the results. I ask myself, what gets me 80% of the results for me and for my audience? And that's what matters. And I stick to that. I want it to be something that I like at the end of the day, and that my audience likes. If it's neither, we're not there yet. Only then do we go over schedule. But as long as it fulfills both, I'm cool with it. Okay. You know, like we kept shooting the second sketch the other day. Yesterday. I'll just keep saying that because technically it was yesterday for me. We shot the second sketch, and we were good, and it was opposite of the first one. We were it took a while, quite a few takes to get rolling, and then once we got rolling, we got a really good take, and we did 2 more, and we're like, no, that other one was really perfect. And then the next one, they were on fire in the beginning, and then as exhaustion set in because they were eating cereal through the scene, they're eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch, a lot of sugar. It caused them to crash. Yeah, I believe it. And so, like, and I pushed it. I was like, there's one over the end of the hill. Yeah. I was wrong. Yeah. And I even changed up the lighting so that like it made it look like daylight outside. I closed the blinds, shot really bright light in at the color of daylight to make it look, and then had, you know, a window open, but we didn't see out it, but we could see the light hitting the cabinet. So I had like a bunch of light bulbs placed around so that it looked kind of like soft light like it was earlier in the day coming through, and it worked lighting wise, but it was for nothing because we're not going to use any of that. But that taught me I need to be more, I need to limit myself more in terms of how far I push my actors. And like I said, I look for that one solid take for the run through so that I can cut that together. So
I would tell you, I don't have, you have process. Yeah. I have none. It just
process leads to possibility.
Yeah. I think I could benefit from more process. Yeah. But because I'm a day job guy, right? So, this is just a fun thing on the side that I'm doing. I tried to think about when you were talking. So I wrote the one screenplay that was just spontaneous. I didn't even have to write it. It just came out and it just kept going.
Well, the process was that you lived your life and then you had all these ideas come to you. Like I said before.
I'm having ideas come to me. So let me give you one. You talked about a children's book earlier. This is one of my ideas, right? Mm-hmm. So it's an adult dark humor children's book. Okay. So I looked up, this just random idea hit me. I was at a bar, I had my laptop, and I'm like, okay, the idea is you open the book and it's on this beautiful looking page, rainbows and unicorns, it's all happy. And there's a quote from Dr. Seuss or some inspirational children's quote, mm-hmm. right? Pick one, blah, 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 right? And there's an illustration of that quote. The possibilities are endless. And then you flip the page and it's all dark gray, white, blacks, and it's the exact opposite. It's like until you wake up and then you realize life is shit. Like, so it just shits on the original one. So it goes, I think this is a fantastic idea. So I've got 25 quotes, right? Then I have to come up with a counterbalance to every one. So it's happy unicorns, flip the page. I've had a guy write 2 of them out in little sketches. I don't know anything like it. I haven't Googled this yet because I think it's unique that it's an adult children's book, right? And it's like, happy rainbows, and then
I can,
and then you wake up and realize that life is shit. Like it's just everyone has a balance
if I could link you up with Kevin McCauley,
Okay.
I think you guys would hit it off.
I would send him 2 pages of this stuff. That I wrote them fast. I mean, they're not great. Like the quote has a better finish or two, but I wrote it so I could get somebody to sketch it out. So here's the process. I don't know if what I thought was funny. In my head, it's fucking genius. It's going to be 25 inspirational quotes from Gandhi to Jesus to whomever. And then there's going to be a real shit sandwich coming on the next page. And you can't wait to hear what the shit sandwich is. I think, the colors in the dark, I just love this idea.
That'd be a
I
funny
hope there's
film
nothing
project.
like it. I hope there's nothing like it out there.
Are you sure you want me to put this out there? Do you want me to cut this out?
No, I don't give a shit. Come at me, bro. Nobody do it as funny as I would do it. But anyway,
dude, that'd be great.
No,
dude,
so I'll send you the 2 sketches.
I'll link you up with my friend because he just got his. He did before or earlier in the year got his children's book published on Amazon.
I love it.
I can help you out with.
No, I'd love that.
He probably knows some people. I mean, he may or may not be able to help. I don't know.
I think I'm going to get an artist, right? And I want to get a co-writer to come up with the funniest 25 other sides of the inspirational quote. I think I've got it was easy to find inspirational quotes for kids. It was so easy. But I just love this concept. I think it's brutal. I like that it's like daily negations that John S. Hall guy was talking about at the very beginning, right? Yeah. Just you don't see it coming, it just whacks you in the head with a reality. I just think it's hilarious. And only a few people will get that. Some people think it's cruel and twisted. I like that.
One of my tips for better writing is I will allow myself. Normally, I'm very strict, much like drinking. I'm strict on social media and time consumed on like any distracting website with an algorithm that's going to feed me things I want to see. The thing is, anything that's designed to addict you on the internet, I will stay away from that. And then right before I write, I'll take a 20-minute power nap before I write. I will allow myself an hour or like 30 minutes to an hour or so to indulge in whatever I can find that will make me laugh or make me, pique my interest. And when
funny cat videos,
do anything,
they're always the best.
Always. And I'll look up dark fucking shit. Yeah. That's the best. And I will go down that rabbit hole. And then if I do it right, after that 20-minute power nap, my brain restructures itself so it's strong again. All of that energy, it's energy, that it's fuel. I've just fueled the tank with inspiration, with energy and positive and negative vibes. I go into that writing session, ideas just flow.
That's awesome. I like
Try
that.
it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, no.
I will. I really
it's indulge in the internet for 30 minutes to an hour or so. Usually over 90 minutes is too long. But you can still. I was going to
ask you, how do you get out of the rabbit hole? It's a rabbit hole for a reason.
It's a bungee jump.
I get sucked in.
It's a bungee jump.
I'm on my couch. I'm like, I started this search at 11 o'clock. It's now 2 a.m. and I'm still watching this shit. And I'm still digging deeper.
I'm still bad at it. Honestly, sometimes I go to 2 hours or so. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. But the thing is, even if I can. I'm and after 2 hours, I'm like I'm easily I can easily fuck up my routine and have to repeat it. Yeah. But like, if I can get through into that writing session, if I spent 2 hours doing it, some of my best work happens that way. It's cool, but it's risky because I'm also easy to I'm easy to forget something and then fuck up my routine into the writing session, and I have to repeat the process. I don't interact with anybody before I write. And I'm grateful that my folks are supportive of that.
Nice.
They see that I have headphones in or earbuds in.
I like it.
They let me do my thing.
Yeah, you got good support. It seems like that's great. All right, so wait, what else do you got left? Because I want to hit you with a couple of things.
Go for it. You got something.
Right. So and to answer some of the ones, to get more productive, any routines or advice? So I think everybody should have an accountability buddy. You mentioned you have one.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing.
I have a lot of accountability.
I would hire an accountability buddy. I want somebody on my ass on the treadmill, the literal treadmill. And then I map out in the morning what I want to accomplish. Keep me on that. I want there to be a penalty. I function better under that. And I like being around other creative people, right? That fuels me.
Yeah.
But I would love the idea. This children's book, me, you, because I think you've got a good comedy mind, and a couple other people that we think are funny. Let's get in a room and spitball it. That's fun to me.
The friend I'm going to introduce you to, she's very dark sense of humor, so she might be able to coming on some ideas.
We talked about empathy. We talked about networking, making sure I cover it. So, advice on how to get through the creative block. You're going to like what I wrote down there.
Oh God, what?
Alcohol. For me, it is.
All right, you know what?
It's
so
bad, right?
We'll talk about
it's
this.
Bad. No, I don't want to talk about it.
No. I've heard from like even Tim Ferriss like that wine is something that he uses to like write. I tried wine. Here's the thing: my ADHD is out of fucking control when I start drinking. The moment I have one sip of alcohol, work's not happening.
It's good. Stay with it.
Like I was, you know, like that when I was it was on last New Year's, not this year's that just passed 2021, but the beginning of 2021, when I was when my little sister and her fiance got me to like drink with them finally after years of like pestering me to do it. Like I just started drinking, and then it like I felt like I was like their monkey that they wanted to dance just so that they could like watch me. They watched me for an hour.
That's why I'm married with my son. They're gonna keep pushing him until he drinks.
Yeah, it's all for their entertainment.
Yeah, it is.
And
it is.
Then you just feel
Let's see how he
shit.
acts. Let's get him drunk. Let's see how he acts.
Yeah,
it's crap.
Like and then like that entire time I was like I was building with Legos or something like some fucking childish shit.
What were you drinking, by the way? What was your drinking choice?
What was
wine,
it? It was,
beer, mixed drinks, shots.
It was like Fireballs.
Oh God.
And that and other things I forget what. Probably Yingling or something. I forget. Nothing much. I don't really drink a lot of different alcohols, honestly.
No, it's good.
But so I don't really know what they all taste like. But like I
did that that's all I did for my son. I wanted him to taste wine because I knew he'd think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Taste beer, also disgusting, and taste a mixed drink, also disgusting. Because if you know what it is, right? I'm afraid he's going to get somebody's going to say it's cranberry juice, and it's because this is what happened in college, right? They sucker you in, tell you it's something else, and you're drinking it. I want him to know what things tasted like, and I never pressured him beyond that.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do. But when he turns 21, I feel like I want to have a beer with him, or I don't drink beer, but just it feels like one of those things you do with your kid.
Yeah.
That I've always like looked at. I want to play.
I get really annoying when I drink. I feel like I mean I could be wrong, but I feel like the most annoying version of myself comes out of it.
I think I get louder, and I don't care. Like I try to be sensitive to people around me and not offend anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't care about offending people when I drink, right? Which is getting me in trouble because I think everything's funny. I don't think I'm like a pure comedian. I don't think there should be any fucking limits. Now, am I going to go do a 9/11 joke on 9/12? No, right? No, I'm not. But I forget who was the first person to come out and say something 9/11. It's probably like Jeff Ross or one of those like hardcore comedians. It was funny. And we needed that, right? Like I just think, so I got this shirt for myself for Christmas that said, you're offended by it. You think it's offensive. I think it's funny. That's why I'm so much happier than you. Right? These people have sticks up their asses, offended by the slightest thing. It's like, just stop. Anyway, I actually brought a shirt.
Oh gosh.
I think. Did I put it? Here's my Silly Walk event.
I love it.
Do you know that logo? See, that's the Silly Walk logo. And it was to great lengths with liquid alchemy, right?
Oh, nice.
So it's really... But that's for you.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. It's very soft and fluffy. It was sitting in the box, so I don't think it's ever been worn. It might be a rag that I used.
Large? Perfect.
I'm sure it is, right? Side. Yeah. So it looks like it's been worn a million times, but it's very soft and fluffy.
Yeah.
So it was from one of my events. So when you have that, but then I realized, you find it offensive. I find it funny. That's me. There's something about people having to put up with me. I put my whole life. I'm going to do a whole skit. I'm going to lay out all my T-shirts, and it just explains who I am. So you're asking who I am? T-shirts, extract it.
T-shirt guy.
And then the last thing I wanted to ask you, and I lost it, because we're in hour 7. We're
6 hours and 20 minutes.
No. We started at 3.
What?
How long did we take to start?
I don't know.
Oh no. I've been waiting for the 7-hour mark.
We're gonna go to. You want to go to 8?
No.
7 hour?
No.
You want to go to 7?
I'm really tired of me right now.
Okay.
I can't hear myself talk anymore. No. I thought we were at 7. When did we start?
So no, this is just for what we've recorded so far.
Oh, so we're in hour 7. Okay, then I feel better.
This is like what? No, this is
the recorded. piece.
I pressed stop.
Why are we even talking about this? This is so stupid.
I pressed start and stop whenever we started recording.
Of the 3 people still watching, they all just left. Shit.
Well, actually, my Russian friends was, I think, 6 hours and 30 or 6 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay.
So
all right,
if
well,
we go,
Alex,
if you want to hit 7, we'll be fine.
So my friend, he's from Kazakhstan, but here's another word of wisdom to you youth out there. If you have international friends and they have foreignish names, learn how to say it the way they say it. Okay. So I have a very
Snyder.
Yeah, I have a very internationally oriented company and have been for 20 years with whether it's India, Russia, China, whatever. I like to say their name as their parents and their friends say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many Indian people change their names to like Bill Smith? So us ignorant Americans don't have to say Jaya Parash Mukherjee, or you know what I mean? Like Venkat Hegde, you know, like that's my buddy. That's my buddy. But I mean, we can't say their names. And I think that's criminal. And like everybody should get the respect of their name right.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that to me has paid for itself tenfold. I just created that one year and I just realized I get so much respect from they give me kurtas, that's the long Indian dress. I get so many presents and food from South Africa because I care enough to speak their name. Alexander Sasha Mikhailovich Bulatov. Okay. Everybody else calls him Alex Bulatov. Right? Right? But it's important. So anyway, just a random thing since we both have a Russian/Ukrainian friend. Not Ukrainian, Kazakhstan. He hates Borat. He thinks Borat killed all of Kazakhstan. I'm Borat. I'm from Kazakhstan. Like he's so angry about it that I don't even bring it up.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, so where were we?
Did you want to go to another question?
Keep going.
How does one overcome the fear of putting themselves out there, or how can someone be less controlled by fear?
Shit, God, that's so hard for me because I was 45 years of controlled by fear. It was bad.
But you feel like you're not.
It was the spiritual thing, man. It just unlocked me.
Yeah.
So if you can find, Brianna Crybear, she's now in the Carolinas. She was the Tantra spiritual massage 3-hour event.
Jeez.
Changed my world. And then moved. She was in Philadelphia. But there's something about Tantra, chakra, the stones, all that stuff. I don't believe anything in it, but it did something to me, so I affected it. Other than that, you just got to do it. You just got to face the fear and do it. Like first time I ever got up on stage, first time I ever did stand up, you just got to do it. But like some people can't, right? Some people need medicine to get through certain fears and things. Like what gets you through things? Not well, right?
My routine, a lot of things I do. I'm like I
do you feel governed with fear in a lot of ways?
No, not really.
What about on the chick front? What about on the chick front?
No, because whenever I like somebody, I eventually
now
ask
you
them
do.
out. Yeah,
you didn't always.
Not always
because of fear, right?
What it is you have to build up the energy inside you to face the fears.
Yeah.
Or you have to have some rule or something for yourself to say, okay, I need to do this.
Yeah. But do you think what's your answer to that same question? Because I don't know if there's an answer. I think it's going to be different for every individual.
Small victories, small moments of courage. You don't have to go and save someone's life or go into a burning building or anything. Yeah. And I've even heard this from somebody who is like a person who does that shit, like who does also like there's a person I heard on a podcast who does all this like fucking crazy heroic shit, and they were like talking about you have to just start small. You just small acts of courage.
Okay.
Just start with small acts of courage. You know what? Like the reason that film years ago I did was about like the guys trying to ask for a woman's number is because I heard a challenge. It was like from a Tim Ferriss thing. It was a challenge that he gave himself to basically if he saw somebody who he was attracted to in public, he felt that feeling that you get from seeing somebody, you feel a connection. He had to always go ask them for a number, and it was a written thing that you say at the same time. I don't do it anymore, but like it unless there's it feels right, but it's it was you have to confront that fear immediately, and I did that a few times, and I realized it's not that bad. I mean I didn't I stopped if I felt like I was putting somebody in an
Getting
uncomfortable
awkward.
situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I did that once and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Like it was like, you know, I would say like, you know, like it was like something like along the lines of, you know, I'd be kicking my, like, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, something like that. I'd be, you know, I'll be kicking myself later if I didn't ask you for your number.
Yeah.
You can give me a fake one.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
totally
perfectly fine. Totally understand.
You know,
yeah.
I just have to ask.
So let me.
I don't do that really anymore, but it helps you get over the fear.
Yeah.
And so,
but giving guidance to somebody about how to get through the fear is tough.
Yeah,
that's a tough question because I just think everybody's got to. I am empathetic for people that struggle with the fear because I did. And I was just at a bar recently. I could tell one of the servers was having an anxiety attack. I felt for her so bad. I'm like, you're just a server, right? You're just taking drinks to their table. Relax, breathe. 20-year-old girl. Like I felt horrible. Yeah, but she's got anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So like fear to some people is way beyond.
I couldn't serve. I couldn't be a server. I tried. I tried training with this restaurant I worked at a while ago. I ended up just being a busboy.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I couldn't serve because I could have eventually probably, but I just said I didn't have enough interest in it. And then, you know,
because your interest in bar backing and busboying was so much more.
No, it was.
No, I know. I know where you're going to go.
It was a toxic fucking environment, by the way.
Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help.
And they were like, they kind of shoved you in. It's like, there's there's fucking spikes on the ground. You're gonna go, you know, you're gonna impale yourself. Go along,
throw you
the
into
fuck in there.
This is what every place does.
Yeah, and it's and there were just so many assholes there, and it's like I just just so much bullshit, and it was they're not like they ended up like I don't know if they've gone out of business yet, but like. It's just.
But we hope they did, fuckers.
But
no, toxic work environments is a trigger for me.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and I'm glad I experienced that because then I know what not to.
Yeah.
Do, you know, like we mentioned, but it was like my memory. I'm terrible at remembering stuff. You've seen.
I wouldn't be good at it either.
That's why I have all my questions here, just so I can always address something and come up with something and write stuff down as I'm going.
So I thought of something unique when you were talking about the girls. Tim Ferriss or whomever going up to them, asking them out, right? So here's something.
I mean, I had a lot of positive reactions to that, but I did. There was just this one where I felt like I feel bad that I just did that because like she didn't know what to say.
Yeah, you could tell she was awkward.
I didn't mean to, but I feel bad that I did it, and I'm like. That I'm done doing that. Like it was a few times, and but it helped me get over the fear. But like. And then, like, I mean, yeah, it's like
because it wasn't that bad.
And then recently,
when you got through it, it wasn't that bad.
Like,
right?
I mean, recently though, like I did do that, but it was because I felt like I had already talked to this person, I had established a connection with them, and then it led to like us hanging out for a bit, but it didn't go anywhere. But it's just like you know, having that experience under my belt to know when to face that fear, you know, it's super critical, but it's also knowing that, you know, I think maybe one of the things is you have to realize that the pain of inaction is much worse. That's the way through fear. Yeah. Knowing, you know, if you know what?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
You ever heard of fear setting?
I think you just nailed it, by the way.
Yeah. No, here it is. You know what fear setting is? It's something another thing I learned from Tim Ferriss. But
did you read about it? Was it in a book?
Yes, it was in Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. One of my favorite books on business. Basically, you write down what your fear is, and then you think of all the worst possible scenarios that could happen. Yeah. You could get shit on your head by a bird. You could, you know, like if you, I don't know, all the worst case scenarios. You think about it in as much detail as possible. You write this down. It's important you write it down, by the way, because that makes it very visceral. Then you go write about all the ways you can mitigate that. And then you think of, all right, in so many years, what will happen if I don't do this thing that you know I'm fearing, and it's just all these different things. Look up Fear Setting by Tim Ferriss, and you do that, it's not as big. Yeah, and plus you've already written down things to avoid.
There's a lot of practice I do. You write it out, it takes away the fear of it in a lot of ways. All right, so All right.
Yeah, becoming fearful of what could happen if you don't act.
No, you're paralyzed by it. Yeah,
that's the way through fear.
Yep.
And that's why I think probably death is important.
Yeah, I think
it's important that we die someday.
I'm never dying. Never.
Good, hope not.
Live forever. So
if you stick around.
I think this is my last coherent thought I have in me, because the Burger King soda is wearing off.
You want some coffee?
And no, it came to mind when you were talking about the girl thing. And to me, you mentioned evolve. You know, how have you evolved or as a person,
yeah.
right? So here's a dramatic one. With women, I used to have that immediate physical attraction thing. And I want to go up and I'm going to buy her a drink, or I'm going to go up and talk to her or whatever. I don't have it anymore. It's totally different. I don't know if it coincided with the spiritual stuff. I can't believe how much I'm talking about. People are going to be like, this guy's a fucking freak.
Dude,
I don't care.
Your empathy, you're all about empathy and passion.
Yeah. So I now feel a person's energy and they look like they have an interesting story behind them. Okay.
Interesting.
And I break up a conversation, right? I don't get attracted to that person. And I've done this numerous times for a long time. I don't even know if I like them that much, right? They could be the hottest thing ever, but I'm not physically attracted to them until I know them and their brain and their heart.
I'm actually similar.
Yeah, they call it sapiosexual, right? You ever heard that term?
It's meditation.
Okay.
I bet it's the meditation, dude.
I don't know what it is.
When that's something that happened to me when I started meditating, is I just don't get attracted to somebody if I don't feel like I connect with them.
Yeah. It's a connection. I need to know they're a good person and they have a good brain.
Yeah.
I'm now, sapio means you fall in love with the person's brain first and everything comes out, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's totally different. Like right now, I've been hanging out with a couple people and I don't know if I want to date them or not. I don't know, but I love the person. I'm really digging the person.
Yeah.
So I think that's an evolving thing. I wish I had that earlier, where it was just small head, big head, But yeah, I like the me now, where I get to know the person really well before I even decide if I want to have any sort of relationship with them.
Yeah.
So, all right. What do you got?
I got
close it. Strong.
I got
close it strong.
I got two big questions
Go.
to answer. So
we didn't already cover them in 7 hours. I surprised.
I talked
what makes me awesome?
What makes you awesome? But what makes for a great film or script? Be as encompassing and detailed as you want.
I remember. So I'm a dialogue guy.
Yeah.
I love dialogue. I remember when Kevin Smith first hit the scene with his quick, it was almost too quick, his dialogue, right? It was like, but it was his thing. And you could tell it was contrived, but I still loved it because it was just hitting home and they were talking about Star Wars shit and Clerks and all this stuff. So I think I'm a dialogue guy. So if I can read something that's got really good dialogue that I can.
Do you know how to, you know what the advice from Aaron Sorkin is to write good dialogue? And
Tell me.
Read it out loud, perform it as you're writing it. And if you do that, you build up the discipline of how it should be spoken and how it should be written.
I mentally do that. I don't say it, but I mentally do it.
Say it out loud.
So
it's different. I'm telling you.
I would love you. So I don't know. So everybody's sense of humor is different. I'd love your feedback on my dialogue.
I'll read it.
I mean,
but what happens when you do that is, when I started doing that a while ago, people said your dialogue sounds natural.
Yeah.
That was actually the one good thing about the people trying to get
most people say they
number.
can hear me doing it. Like this is so you. I could totally have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
But because here's what my feedback, you're going to give me feedback, and my thing doesn't follow any arc. It might by accident, but I had no screenwriting ability. I just vomited on something I think had a really good
And
thing.
You know what? That's something that you can always restructure if there's something built in there.
I felt like I lost it. So when I got the feedback and you get the screen, right, the 800 hour, we're going to give you a rewrite and we're going to grade you. I did all that stuff, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's just taken away what I liked about it, which was just quick-witted. I'm not looking.
Did they rewrite it for you?
No, but it was just trying to. They didn't shit on it, but they made it. It had to have all the proper process and arc, 3-act thing, right? And I'm just thinking,
3-act structure is bullshit.
Right,
by the way,
some of my favorite movies.
That nutshell technique I recommend because it does what the 3-act structure should do, but it doesn't. The 3-act structure doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it.
I just didn't like all that structure because I liked what I had. I just wanted some feedback. I like Pulp
Fiction.
The thing. What's Pulp Fiction structure? Does that follow?
I will
anything?
read it. Pulp Fiction actually does if you read the nutshell technique book.
Okay.
It's very loose. I don't know how much I would believe in it.
Like some of the movies I love are all over the place.
You want to know what the structure is? He wants Jules mentioned, Samuel Jackson's character Jules mentions that he wants in the beginning, first act 1, his setup 1, he says, I want to just make sure my boss doesn't get fucked like a bitch.
Yeah.
And then the catch happens. I forget what the catch was, but what's happening later with Bruce Willis and his boss getting fucked like a bitch.
Yeah. Yes.
It works.
Yeah.
I don't know how that really makes an audience member feel emotional about a film, but if you realize that's his character arc is because of that happening, he then decides to go the higher route, the moral route. So there is a classical Aristotelian comedy structure built into that.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could. So like,
and Aristotle is Aaron Sorkin's god, apparently.
Really interesting.
Yes.
You ever see Memento?
Fucking love it.
Great
But
movie.
I mean,
all over the place though.
Yeah.
Completely. Did that?
Dude, here's the thing.
I guess you could talk anything into that had a structure.
I've watched so many movies that are so like out there.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I'll read your script and I'll be able to tell you, okay, I bet I can give you a way to, if it's working, I'll tell you, or if there's a way to improve it, I'll tell you, look, I think you got something here. I think this could possibly even be moved or cut, or this, and you might agree. You'll probably agree with me, or not, and it doesn't matter. It's up to you. But it's like I'll tell you, like this is what I would do to reshape it and to still maintain your vision. Like I remember I gave feedback on a person's short film script. I felt like I've actually, this has happened twice where I read a script, I love it all, then the ending, the message is like, it completely loses the point of the message of the film, and I'm like, well, why are you doing it that way? Like this is what the audience, I guarantee, is going to think about, and then the people who know, like who I trust most, I tell this to them and they're like, yeah, you're right, that should have been that. Like I had my friend Darlene read the script that I wanted to be cinematographer on, and recently, and I turned it down because they were like, they wanted to do an ending that I was like, yeah, it just deflates the whole thing for me. Like the whole film was about them learning the about the value of working together. It didn't matter about success to them at that point. It just that they made something that they cared about together. And then the ending I suggested was they made it so that this other director above them met them and started talking with them. And it's like, that was the happy ending. I was like, that's completely opposite of what story you're telling. They didn't win any awards at the festival, but then this great director comes along, is like, I'm going to show you how it's done. And I'm like, that's a fucking shitty ending. And I'm like, sorry, I probably should maybe cut this out, but I'm like, I don't care. It's like, this is what should have happened. They meet other filmmakers who also didn't win, but they all like each other's film. Mm-hmm. And that happens. And you know what? I guarantee you that those filmmakers that meet the other passionate filmmakers that are on their side will make better films than the person who worked with that person who's telling them how to make a film.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it happens, because I worked with that person. I worked with a person like that, and I almost lost my identity as a filmmaker in the process. Yeah. And I make sure that I don't do that to anybody in the future. And struck a nerve. Yeah, no, but it's good. Like, where were we? What were we talking about? It was what makes for a great film.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm a dialogue. Look, I like the
dialogue. I love dialogue.
Characters are big. Like
I think you'll like my film. Okay, my film.
I love watching. So I'm really into lighter movies just because the world is so fucking dark.
Yeah.
But what's the guy's name? I mean, I've been comedies. Curb Your Enthusiasm is a great show. I love Larry David. I hate his.
You ever watch Arrested Development?
I love it. Great. Bateman's great.
Dude, I fucking
No, I love characters. So what's the guy's name? He's a bit player in a lot of things. He was in, is it Ballers? No, Millions. Billions. Great actor. He's always wins for supporting actor.
Beard
yes,
guy?
Yes,
what's
bald,
his name?
beard, chubby. What great character actor.
Yeah, dude, he's great.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, there was a guy at my restaurant that looked like him.
Fantastic.
And we always made fun of him for it.
Steve Buscemi, character actor. Like, I love that shit. Oh man, that's why I think I like the Coen brothers movies, because they develop great characters. So to me, that's my answer. Like dialogue and characters. Anyway. All right, what else?
So
we've covered all the big ones at the end, thankfully.
I want to ask you do you want me to ask the big question, the big final question?
Your call.
So we're at 6 hours and 40 minutes.
I'm in 7 hours by now. I'm in 7 hours for me. So I already
Okay.
set the record. I don't care what your clock says.
All right.
I've been sitting here
What
for how long? 7.5 hours? Yeah.
What matters most to you?
I have hemorrhoids from sitting here for 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Feels good.
It feels weird, right?
What matters most to me? So I throw out hemorrhoids while you give me a deep one. I a deep one that kind of worked on multiple levels. So what matters most to me? Being making others happy. It's not even close. It's not even close. The kick that I get out of making somebody smile the first time that day, I can tell they had a bad day. I can sense it. The Christmas card I got from Slowhand, where you were at, I cried. I got a Christmas card. It said Merry Christ. Yes.
Merry Crisis. It's a meme. It's a meme.
Yeah. And then it had all of them, and they put a little thought into it, and like 10 of them wrote, "You brighten our day. I'm so happy when you walk in on my shift," or I think about, I hope Mike comes in tonight. Like, dude, I lost it. I'm losing it right just thinking about it, right? Them telling me that I make them feel good and they're like looking forward to a shift because I hold court, man. At the bar, you should see me. I hold court. I am the best bar hangout comedian that ever was. It's conversational humor that I do. I don't tell jokes. I don't think I wrote one joke once. I'll tell it to you, but I don't like jokes. I like real stuff that's happening and riffing off of, oh, look at that guy. Like just riffing off whatever's happening in the room. I cannot be touched. I am the greatest on the planet at that, and a wingman. I'm a great wingman. All kind of goes hand in hand. But no, making people happy is just what's driven me. That's what's most important. And obviously my son turning out great. It's already kind of happened. And he's going to, I don't know if he's going to change the world, but he's going to enjoy life and be awesome. He's a great influence on everybody around him. So those are the big ones.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the only other thing I could think of,
we should end on like the most sour note ever and just mess with people.
I realized there's two other things. There was principles in life and art. Do you have any principles in life and art?
Well, principles is always do the right thing, right? We talked to, I mean, we've covered these in different ways, but like, don't be a dick, do the right thing, positive energy.
Google used to have that motto somewhere in their building, and then they got rid of it. Don't be evil.
I mean, yeah.
Apparently, I heard that.
And that's because they became evil, the algorithm. No, I just think just do the right thing. I think it all comes around. Good karma, right? So many good things have happened to me. Some of it's by pushing my way through, good work ethic, just keep going. And some of it's just because I think I give out good energy. And I really do believe there's something to, you get what you put out to the universe for what it's worth. So that's how I pick.
Do you have a favorite story or experience from running your nonprofit, like a favorite success story?
We've only done 2 fundraising events. One was the Silly Walk, your shirt. The other was Cartoon Madness, which I talked about. The top 32 best cartoon characters of all time. Both of them are rewarding because everybody smiled the whole freaking time. The cartoon one, I didn't know. I loved Saturday morning cartoons growing up. Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Tom and Jerry, loved it all growing up. It takes me to a happy place. I still watch it. There's a channel called Me TV. Every Saturday morning for 1 hour, they show it. I started DVRing them. When I'm down, I just watch it. It's just great. And some of it's so smart. Like SpongeBob was smart. South Park's really smart. Bugs Bunny was like World War II shit was going on. Smart, like crazy, like little innuendo that I didn't notice till years ago. So I did this event and I thought, I like this, so I'm doing it. I don't care if other people like it sometimes. I just don't care. I want to do it and see if it works. It crushed it. I had more people come up because I walked around to every table and we filled all the tables. So one, success of people showing up, success of fundraising worked. And when I walked around and letting people vote on, so I would walk around table to table and okay, your matchup is the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Are you ready? Okay. It's Foghorn Leghorn versus Elmer Fudd. Right. And they start talking, I go, and they were like, well, what's the criteria? I go, what is the most impactful for you? Now, I said, there's longevity. It's like the Hall of Fame. There's longevity. You're around the longest. There's groundbreaking. So I let everybody vote and everybody voted. And so then I would announce the winner of that bracket to people and they'd be like, oh, no way. Daffy Duck's better than an Elmer Fudd, right? People were just gleeful. I had a TV of all old fashioned cartoons. running nonstop. And the way people shared anecdotes of their youth, like it was like so much joy around the amount of people that came up to me afterwards. And we had gifts of Pop Rocks, if you know what they are. We had 80s candy, the dots. We had all the 80s candy were given away.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, it was so much joy. Not one person left, not one person miserable. And that was ridiculously rewarding. So I've had, both of them were successful. Yeah, I feel like the 6th and 7th event wasn't nonprofit related, but that was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun. And I felt good about it. I didn't have the time to put into it, designer, but like those are great things coming out. I've had 2 or 3 people I've coached that I've changed their lives for the better. Like one family, the co-founder of the nonprofit, Amy. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Hour 7. I don't know how I'm still going. So
6 hours and 46 minutes.
Met a woman on the beach. Met a woman on the beach. You're really pushing on that one. Met a woman. You want the 7 hours more than anything. I think you do.
Yeah, I do.
Google the longest podcast ever. Let's just go for that.
We did. Well, the thing is, the one I did with my
hours.
friend, we did for 6 hours and 50 something minutes.
Okay, you rounded up.
If we go to 7,
You lied.
well, I went to we cut out some stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
We're cutting out a lot.
We're gonna cut.
We're going to cut out a lot, but I don't care. We went for this long. We'll take a screenshot
fine.
of the time.
Hey, if it counts to you,
that makes
it
me
counts
feel
to me.
better.
Yeah.
I got to feed my cat.
Yeah.
Anyway, so wait, where was I going? Bring me back. Oh, meets a woman on the beach. I'll keep the names out, with her son. Her and her husband are there. And she could tell they're speaking a different language, speaking German. And Andreas, Amy's husband, speaks Greek. He could pick it up on it. They started hitting up a conversation with her. Turns out she's on the beach trying to figure out where she's going to sleep that night with her 10-year-old son, Eli. Should have left the names out. But anyway, and they started hearing, she moved from Denver to South Beach to be a personal trainer and a chef for an older guy, 50s or 60s, right? She's like 32 maybe. And she'd been there a week, and this day the guy said, look, he hit on her, and she's living in a mansion on South Beach, like a $17 million mansion. Hit on her and said, well, if you're not going to do that, then you can't stay here anymore, like that day. So she didn't know what to do. She went to the beach. Okay. Amy, they meet them. They start hitting it off with them, talking, and an hour in. So where do you live? Right. And this comes out. Right. So Amy immediately FaceTimes me right after they separated their ways. They exchanged information. They were going to go have dinner because Amy knew this was going to be our first person that we helped through the nonprofit. She already knew it, but she wanted to bounce it off. She's telling me the story. I go, make it happen. Get her out to dinner. Make sure she's a legitimate person, good person. When you get somebody out there, you're going to see her, right? So that happened. She ended up getting an Airbnb that night. And 2 days later, we had helped her move from South Beach into my place on the other side of Florida in Tampa, Clearwater Beach. I have a place and nobody stays there. I go down just to visit, and it's my vacation home, right, for me.
Yeah.
Palm trees are the best thing for my mind to calm me down. So they moved in, right? They moved in. She's cleaned up the house. We gave them a place to live. The praise heaped upon us was amazing, right? Then what do you need next? Well, I got to get Eli in school. But, we're new to here. Eli's a citizen. Turns out she's not a citizen. So there's a reason why she was doing these kind of jobs, cash and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. She's been in the country 7 years, but she's not a citizen. Green card. So she can't go legit. So I don't care about it. We need to get him in school, right? So they needed to use my address. I had to help, act like they're living there. Got him in a great school. That was awesome, right? And then she needed to work. Got her a great job at a fitness center. Just that was probably the best story and that's why we kept doing it. So really, other than the fundraising events, we've helped 3 or 4 people that maybe they would have got there through some other luck or happenstance. But I know that there's 3 or 4 people that I changed their life for the better. And we're just starting out. Mm-hmm. So, and I've got about 3 or 4 more, like Johnny's an easier one. Hey, he's going to look back and say, I might have been a filmmaker without, but he made it easier. He got me from A to Z much faster.
Yeah.
Right. That's all I'm looking for. I love that because it's what I didn't have growing up. So anyway, there you go. Done and seen.
So
mic drop. fuzzy mic drop. Oh, he's going to look
No,
at the
I was
time.
gonna go. I mean, we're at 6 hours and 50 minutes, but who gives a shit?
Okay, I don't give a shit.
I mean, do you want to let's close off with how can people follow or reach you?
Oh, very easily. info@togreatlengths.org. We're going to put this in the links.
Oh yeah, I'll put it in the links.
Right. I'll put my personal email up there. I got a bunch of them. I like the porn to go to my Yahoo. I like the, oh, did I say that out loud? I thought that was my voice. Edit out. No, just teasing. No, let's put it in a thing. But one, if anybody actually got this far in, I'd love to help you with your project if you're not a douche.
Mm-hmm.
It's really my only critique.
Like me.
Yeah, like I like helping non-douchey people.
Yeah.
I should change my tagline of the nonprofit. I do some on my own and I do some through the nonprofit. The nonprofit, I always have Amy and the other board members. There's 4 of us to buy in. We have 4 life coaches. Some might be better for the situation. Some's like relationship life coach. I'm a happiness coach or just a career coach.
Mm-hmm.
I like to listen and play back to them what I heard and put them on the right path. That's Jason for me right now. That I'm helping. He's ADHD and he keeps bouncing job to job, and he can't. And I'm like, I know what you should be doing, graphic design. So let's go for it, right?
Yeah.
So
art is like I couldn't. Oh, it's like my brain.
Right.
I couldn't not be doing art. Is that how it
yeah,
sounds?
I hope you never have to take a corporate job unless it's the art department of a corporate job.
I'd throw myself off.
I'd be okay if it was Pixar, but I would. I don't want that on anybody. Especially if they have that art creativity. So we're putting them on a path. You know what the problem is? You can't go you can't all of a sudden be a graphic design person on your own without getting a job that teaches you a few things and that sort of thing. So he might have to do corporate a little bit, but yeah, I'm so happy that you don't have to, at least for now, right? Go be a goddamn server or go be a whatever in some company, because it's not the best.
I think it's important to have shitty jobs.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
So that you have that experience.
It's important to know the value of money for sure and not take it for granted.
I mean, I'm grateful that I was able to learn that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But yeah.
So that's how you reach me.
Mike McGowan.
Mike McGowan, the most awesome person on the planet. Oh, by the way,
now this was
another project
a 7-hour answer to why you're awesome.
Oh, it was it built to this crescendo.
It really was.
I just want to say crescendo.
Thing you wanted to add in?
No, I was gonna say the one other project that I could use your help on.
You had an announcement, by the way.
The announcement was I do want to do this comedy thing where people can send in to us their bits, and we can do it without a festival. But let's ask people. So maybe I'll put together a little marketing one-pager to go to an email list of some sort. Say, hey, this producer is looking for good comedy content. If you're willing to put yourself out there, upload it to here, right? We'll review it. Never know where it's going to go. We'll say top prize is $1,000, something like that. Let's just throw out some incentive to get people, and let's see what happens. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, the thing is as long as the thing with those is you have to have you then have to spend time to review it. And that's the thing is that my time and my attention is super important to me. Yep. So money it has to be worthwhile.
Yeah. But anyway, and your involvement can be at whatever level.
I mean, if it was like
you could be the conduit.
It should be like a short. It should be like you should produce a short comedy. Yeah. Like no scripts. Like we want to see the actual thing. We want to see you do something with it.
100% agree. Yeah. So when we did the Film Freeway, upload your 2 to 5 minute comedy, sketch, whatever you want to do.
2 to 5 minutes, perfect.
Yeah. Keep it at that. If we like it, right?
Yeah.
We might help you get it in the festival circuit. We know how to do that. Or we can coach you and make it better, whatever it is. Right? So we could come up with categories. Now, I don't expect you to do anything for it, but I wanted this platform that you've got with 49 people.
You guys listening?
Is this thing on?
They're all gone. All 49.
They were gone 7 hours ago, bro.
My mom's even gone.
She's actually passed. This has been so long.
Mom, come back.
I love his mom. I just met her. She's awesome. She's awesome. I didn't mean that. Bad karma. Bad juju. Let's take it back. No, but you're the platform. I'm throwing it out there. You've got some filmmaker people, but if I put together a one-pager, I use this thing called Constant Contact. It's a mailing distribution list thing that lets you put together a quick thing. I don't know if you've ever seen a MailChimp, all those. Yeah. But I could put together a nice flyer that you could send out to your people and I send out to my people to say, hey, we're going to have a fun contest, and we're willing to help you produce something. The winner's going to get a grand. The second winner's going to get a screenwriting review, whatever it is. But send us your thing. I can be the sole reviewer. You can pick some that, and we get a couple of other comedy people, right? Because my comedy taste is going to be a little different than yours, a little bit different than somebody else's. So,
and I still I'm all for this. Right, I want you to write and direct something, a short film, and I'll produce and I'll help with like behind the scenes directing, and I'll help with like
I already have
shooting it.
You know what it is?
What?
My eulogy.
Your eulogy.
And my funeral. I'm going to write it. I'm going to film it so that people can appreciate me while I'm here.
Oh.
I want
get the book Nutshell Technique, but I mentioned, and come up with something based on that. Use that as your framework. I can even send you the checklist.
Okay.
There's literally a page on. You know what? You don't even have to read it. Like I'll give you the page with the checklist, and then you start with the catch. So you work through it, and you use that checklist. You'll come up with something.
Doesn't everybody have the thing about who's going to show up at my funeral? Do you have that thing?
I mean,
who's going to be sad? Who's going to be broken up?
I used to think about.
Who did I matter to that I didn't know?
I had a visualization exercise years ago that had that, but I don't know. I stopped using it. I guess it just depresses me. I mean, well, that's important. You want things to depress you, but it's just I cut it out because I didn't think it was as impactful as other things that I mean, I have a visualization exercise thing that I do.
So, and by the way, creatively, I think a lot of good ideas are stolen, but I try to make them better. So you see Man on the Moon, Andy Kaufman movie.
So,
Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman, the comedian, Man on the Moon. No?
Wait a minute.
It was up for Oscars, I think.
I forget.
And you don't know the Andy Kaufman comedian?
Oh, I love. Oh, was it? No, I'm thinking Charlie Kaufman, one of Ryan's favorite screenwriters. No, Andy. Yes, that's it. That's it.
Where he went into lock.
That's it. Yeah.
From Tattoo.
No, I was getting confused with Charlie Kaufman made a movie with Jim Carrey. I didn't. No, Man on the Moon. I saw that. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly I love that movie.
Yeah, died of cancer, but people think he faked his death. I lived through that. Right, the pro wrestling thing where he was enraging a crowd in the Deep South that believed that wrestling was real, and he was beating up on women. Remember, he was the intergender champion of the world. He would only wrestle women, and he would go at them. But it was all a put on, and nobody knew it. He got in a fight with Letterman, the whole thing. So anyway, but in his funeral, he had already pre-filmed stuff for people to watch while he was there. I'm doing that.
Dude, that's great.
I'm literally doing that. I want people to know what I thought of them. Right.
But no, I also want to do a short film
that's fair enough.
Like to produce with you.
Right.
I'll volunteer for that.
But can it be both of us? So to me,
do you want to act?
I want you and I to come up with a concept. From the very beginning that is ours.
Yeah.
We're Adam McKay.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
Adam McKay and Will Ferrell, right? We're the duo.
Do you want us to act in it?
Maybe. If it plays itself out, but I would rather co-do it because then you're going to be as passionate as I am about it. Right?
Yeah.
That would be more fun for me versus me do it and you help me with it.
We'll get together someday and we'll come up with it.
You got a good comedy mind. I love your stuff. So,
thank you.
And I want to say thank you for having me on here. Sorry for the people that have to put up with us.
1 minute from the 7.
Oh, well, we have to keep talking. All right, so takeaways. Let's talk about our takeaways. Okay, we talked about a lot of stuff. It's recorded, but I won't remember any of it. But one, we're going to exchange screenplays of some sort and stuff. I'd love to read your stuff. Two, we're going to have a lot of links at the bottom of this, right?
I will listen through the whole thing, all 7 hours.
I want people to see the Silly Walk sketch that I talked about. Yeah. You have to watch that.
And the 3-minute thing we did.
The 3-minute thing is going up there.
Why are we Thunder Buddies?
We're Thunder Buddies.
It was Thunder Buddies.
It was thundering. It was thundering.
Yeah.
It was.
It was thundering. And we were...
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
You want to do karate in the garage?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Wait, hold on. We got 30
No, I'm not done. Seconds. I'm not done.
Yeah, okay.
I could riff like this all day long.
We do have...
Are you running out of battery?
9 minutes on the
battery?
On the memory card.
That's turning out my
perfect.
Camera. That's turning out perfect.
Dude.
So wait. So
I thought this would be like a 3-hour
we got to figure out our takeaways.
Yeah.
What else do we have to do to follow up? So I want to work the idea of
I'll be sending you my script eventually.
Comedy Film Festival. I want to play it out. What could that look like? Okay. So I'm going to do the research, see if there is one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the idea of bringing in content and helping others, and this being the platform to get the word out, you can be involved or not. But you've got a platform here that I can use and say, hey, we're going to do a quick 30-second little infomercial, send it out to all our people. Here's the prizes. Go with it. I'd love to do that. And then I'd love to send you my commercial, 1 minute commercial. See what you think of it.
Go for it. Yeah.
You ever do any commercial work?
Yeah. You know, I'd love to do more.
This is a funny one, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
I would give you the pitch, but we're already over 7 hours. But actually, no, I'm going to give you the pitch. We're going to go 7 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah, we have 8 minutes left. Or let's go.
I'm outlasting the memory card. How good am I? Better than memory card good.
Yeah,
okay.
my camera will just cut off and it'll just be you.
So Steadicam one shot is what we're doing. This is an homage to.
Oh, I love that. I love to use my Steadicam. So
homage to Scorsese. Okay. And
I have the tilt to float. It's basically an mini Airy Trinity. You know what that is?
No.
That's the new thing. It's a combination of gimbal and Steadicam. It's like a 5-axis instead of like a. I don't know what a Steadicam is, but this is 5-axis, meaning it's fucking fluid as fuck.
Okay, so
you're gonna love it.
So is it
we'll
made?
Make it'll.
Did we ever talk about the inventor of the Steadicam?
Dude, I've been working on a patent, and I've been doing the patent myself. Like I'm just learning how to do that, and I've been researching how to like how do I like I've been doing a patent search myself, and I came across like a lot of patents that are basically it's early Steadicams.
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy. I don't know who was the original inventor though.
His name is Garrett Brown. He's a good friend of my dad and graduated high school together.
Fuck out,
Hartford
really?
High School.
Wow.
So when they go to reunions, they leave everybody out and they go hang out, right? So Adam's a worshiper of Garrett Brown. He lives locally. He's very local.
Yeah, it was Garrett. Yeah, Brown, something. Yeah.
And
did you get to meet him?
Well, no, he has met him, but I've been waiting to cash in the card of like, let's go hang out with Garrett Brown and have a drink and talk Steadicam. So I'd love you to do that with me. That would be fun if I could pull that off. I think he would get a kick. Now that I'm in the business, I think he'd get a kick out of it. But okay, the commercial. How many minutes? Okay, go. Ready?
7 minutes.
So Me Outside Liquid Alchemy. This is a mead and cider place. It's very unique. They make their own cider and mead. Mead is a honey wine. It's very different. There's a coffee flavor. There's blueberry, all this stuff. It's me outside saying, you got the Steadicam. I got the microphone tied to me or whatever, and said, hey, I want to show you my place. Look around me. It's my favorite place. I'm a super fan. Let me show you why. Follow me. I walk in, come to the first table. They're all got drinks there. I go, oh, what do you got there? What meat is that? Oh, it's the cowabunga. What do you think? Guy says, doesn't suck. Okay, go to the next table. What's that, a cider? Which one's that? Red, white, and blueberry? What do you think of it? Doesn't suck. Next table. Go around 4 or 5 tables of different things. Everybody says it doesn't suck. Okay. Then go to the last guy. Harley guy. I already have him cast. 6'8". 380, right? I go up to him. I go, oh, I see you have the meat ice cream. What do you think of that? He goes, it's lovely, right? Totally breaks character, right? Says it's lovely, deep voice. And then, so now you know why I love Liquid Alchemy. Come to Liquid Alchemy. And then pan to the behind the scenes, all the people that work there behind the bar. It doesn't suck. Or it's lovely. I haven't figured out the last one.
Let's do it.
Going with this.
Wait, did you film it?
No, I wrote it. The script is done. And Adam actually went with me to look at lighting. So this is where I knew it might not work out with Adam because it's like the Ryan thing. He's going too far with it.
You know what I suggest?
He's going too far with it.
You know what I love about this thing? We can literally have it be held like a boom pole, and I have a battery pack that you can plug this fucking thing into. We can walk around with a China ball lighting the place.
Well, here's the thing. The grittier, the better. It's going to look raw and real. Yeah. If it even does, like I want.
Well, that's how. There's a David O. Russell. That's how he films a lot of his like American Heist or something like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
But I decided that we're outlasting that, so we're going to let it go, and it's just going to go static like Poltergeist. What do we got?
Well,
you can't tell really.
I would hit stop on mine just so that just in case it doesn't.
I kind of want the end of our thing, the close of it. We're just still rambling, and it just goes to static like Poltergeist. That's a classic ending.
Hit stop on mine, just
Where is it?
Just the can. You know the shutter button. You see this button right here? No, your side. There's a red button
over here.
No, under the battery.
Oh, got it. Yeah, hit it.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
So that's saved. But yeah, like so we're still on you. We still got you.
So he was overdoing it. He brought his thing, his phone and his iPad, and he's doing all this stuff. And we got to do it at 8 a.m. I'm like, I can't get 30 extras here at 8 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're closed. So I could tell he's an artist. He's like Adam. He's a really good cinematographer.
No, he's fucking phenomenal.
I just need a 1 minute stupid commercial where people say it doesn't suck. Let's not overdo it. You know what I mean? Like, to me,
I mean, it's you need somebody who's like an 80-20 person.
Yes, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Neither one of those guys is 80-20 people. They're artists. They really are. You are too, but you've also realized that there's a diminishing returns, and you're not willing to compromise all that extra time. So anyway, I'd love you to do it.
Let's look into it.
It's a paying gig, guarantee, no exceptions, and you're gonna love these people. You're gonna love this place.
Oh, I guarantee it will.
This place has the best energy. The owners are friends of mine now. They let me do the cartoon and the silly. They are great people. When you walk in, there's Star Wars shit everywhere. There's Game of Thrones. They had a Game of Thrones. They used to watch it. Everybody would come and they made drinks for Game of Thrones. It's the most eclectic place ever. It's awesome.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And they do non-alcoholic as well. So there you go. Boom. Cool. Anyway, all right. So that's all I got, man.
No, I'm done.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mike McGowan, for coming on the fucking podcast.
Thank you, Thomas Prophet, 2 F's, 2 T's.
This is why he's awesome. All right,
man.
And that's a wrap.
Right.
Take 16. That's a wrap.
Take 1, A, B, and C.
All right.
Oh, thanks, man. That was so fun.